One change that Daniel Farke has made since the 3-1 defeat away to Nottingham Forest before the international break, and that is Pascal Struijk, the number 5, who's had an early touch of the ball here. Leeds have kicked us off. They are playing from left to right in the first half towards the Norman Hunter stand. It's a bracing, chilly afternoon. We've had heavy rain ahead of kick-off. There's still a light sprinkle of rain falling at the moment, and those are dazzling dribbling skills from Morgan Rogers inside his own half. He's got the pass forward to Ollie Watkins. Just the one goal for him so far this season. Both teams a little shy of goals, but Aston Villa, as I was just saying, if they win, get into the top 4. Leeds starting the day in the bottom 3, and Aston Villa in comfortable possession at the moment. 5 wins in their last 6 Premier League games. European football on the way in midweek as well. They're at home to Young Boys. The rain just increasing in intensity in the opening minute of this game. Scoop pass from Pau Torres down the left, finds Dean, and Bogle comes thundering across, makes the tackle and claims the last touch came off Dean, and the referee agrees and gives Aston Villa the throw. This is a classic winter afternoon of English football in these conditions. The pitch is slick, rain in the air. Should be a competitive affair as Bogle throws the ball down the line. Metcher heads it to his right. Brendan Aronson immediately under pressure. Tielemans goes in to win the ball for Villa, and Torres comes back to his goalkeeper, Emi Martinez, who is all in pink away to our right, or a shade of sort of pinkish orange perhaps from this distance. Konsa's ball forward, finds McGinn. He's clipped on the halfway line by Anton Stack, who protests his innocence as he was jumping out of the way. Aston Villa get the free kick. So let's rattle through the 2 starting 11s. Lucas Perry is the Leeds goalkeeper. Jayden Bogle, Joe Rodon, Pascal Struijk into the team, and Gabriel Gudmundsson, the back 4 for Leeds. Ethan Ampadu on the ball right now in front of them. Longstaff and Stack either side of him. Brendan Aronson, Noah Okafor, and Lucas Metcher as the centre forward, with Dan James, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Joel Pirro and Willy Gnonto all on the bench for Leeds this afternoon. Aston Villa have Emi Martinez in goal, Cash, Konsa, Torres and Dean the back 4, Camara and Tielemans in front of them. Tielemans in for Onana today. Onana misses out completely. McGinn, Rogers, Buendia and Ollie Watkins through the middle. 2.5 minutes in, Joe Rodon on the ball for Leeds just inside his own half. Passes sideways to Struijk. Struijk floats the left-footed diagonal pass out to Okafor. Little touch with his left boot. Past infield. Back it comes to Struijk again. He's looking left again, although Rodon's available on the right. Forward to Ampadu. Back to Struijk. Struijk again sees Bogle wide right, decides not to go for that pass, and in the end Stephen Warnock turns and comes back to the goalkeeper Lucas Perry, 0-0.
Yeah, one thing we know about Aston Villa is they won't engage. They'll sit back. They'll make it difficult for Leeds to break them down, and just showing them exactly how they're going to set up there, Aston Villa. But Leeds forced all the way back to the goalkeeper because there's a lack of ideas, a lack of understanding how to break Aston Villa down at that moment.
Bogle hustling and bustling, chasing onto a ball into the Aston Villa half, puts Dean under pressure. He could only slice the ball out of play for a Leeds throw. Sheffield United 3-0 winners away to Sheffield Wednesday in the Championship this afternoon, and full commentary on Arsenal Spurs to follow here on 5 Live, and an early injury concern for Leeds right back Jayden Bogle, who may have just been caught in one of the early challenges in the game. Maybe had a toe or two trodden on there. Hobbling, looks like a sore one. He's going to be okay to continue. Taking a breather at the moment. He's about ready to take the throw for Leeds. Leeds 0, Villa 0. Villa who've not lost on their last 5 visits to Ellen Road. 2 wins and 3 draws in that time. The ball is hoisted forward by Leeds and straight out of play for a throw-in to Villa. 10 yards short of the halfway line on the left. Tielemans making a first Premier League start since mid-September. Missed 10 games with a calf injury. Has had a couple of substitute appearances in Villa's last 2 games and played some international football in the break for Belgium as well. Classic John McGinn holding off Gudmundsson, sort of backing into him, reversing into him, making it very difficult for him to get the ball. Villa taking a risk with a pass across their own penalty area. Away it goes though from Cash on the volley. Watkins interested, chases that. Rodon leans over him, nods it forward, and the ball falls to Ampadu here in the heart of the Leeds midfield. Bogle to his right, receives the ball, low pass, driven up towards Metcher, tried to lay it off to Aronson, couldn't quite find his teammate, and it goes out for the Villa throw on the left. Stephen.
Yeah, I think there's a clear game plan from Aston Villa here to look in behind this Leeds defence. They want to get tight, they want to come into that midfield area, and Morgan Rogers and Ollie Watkins are just playing on the shoulders of the Aston Villa centre-backs and trying to spin in behind, looking for that one ball that might just catch the Leeds players out.
5 minutes in at Ellen Road, 0-0 between Leeds and Aston Villa. The ball is at the feet of Aston Villa's goalkeeper Emi Martinez, matching pink gloves to go with the rest of the outfit, and boots as well. Low driven skidding ball forward. Ampadu almost tried to control that with his knees. It deflected off him to the right. Here's Bogle for Leeds, forward to Mecha. Mecha is able to take control of that. Torres in right behind him, and he nearly lost that for Leeds, but Longstaff receives it, slides a pass to his right to Bogle, whose cross is blocked there by Buendia at close range. Throw in for Leeds that they take quickly, and here's Sean Longstaff, receives the throw and comes straight back to the number 6 Joe Rodon. A cross to Strauch. Leeds fans want something to get excited about here. Goodmanson, Okafor driving forward into the Villa penalty area. Challenge on him, just stopped him as he was about to pull the trigger with his left foot. Stack thought about a shot from the edge of the box. Instead he plays it back to Ampadu. Ampadu whips a pass out to Bogle on the right. Early Leeds pressure. Bogle drops a shoulder, tries to beat Buendia on the outside. Plays it to Aronson. He darts in field at pace. He's lent into by Rogers, and he wins the free kick. About 25 yards out in the inside right channel. It's Leeds 0, Villa 0.
Yeah, good passage of play from Leeds. Really smart from Okafor on the left-hand side. A little give and go. I thought he was just about to let fly, and Matty Cash, I was wondering, is he going to make the challenge? Is it going to be a clean challenge? Just gets enough on the ball, because that could have been easily given away a penalty. And then Brandon Aronson, I thought he went down a little bit too easily there. I thought he was on his way down. I thought he bought the free kick. And this is a great position for Longstaff.
10 goals in 11 Premier League games so far for Leeds. Just under 1 a game, you do the maths. Longstaff with the free kick. Really could get this place going this afternoon if Leeds can score early. 7th minute of the game. Longstaff is waiting for the referee's whistle here. He's keeping an eye on things in the penalty area, attacking that goal away to our right. Longstaff delivers into the edge of the 6-yard box. Sliding effort, it goes up in the air. Martinez is struggling. Did it go over the line? Leeds celebrate, they've got the goal, but the referee says hang on. High ball went up in the air. Emi Martinez is still on his back at the moment inside the penalty area, as is one of the Leeds players. Okafor got the last touch. He ran away to celebrate the goal, and for the moment the referee is saying just wait to everyone here. So I'm presuming that the ball's gone over the line. The Leeds players certainly think that. It's whether something went on before it crossed the line, whether there's a foul in there, whether this goal can stand. We actually don't have a replay at the moment.
Yeah, I think what happens is Emi Martinez goes up to catch the ball. He collides with another player, and then I think it's Joe Rodon goes over the top, wins the header, and then as he falls, it goes to Okafor, puts it into the empty net. But Martinez wants a foul. I don't think it's a foul, Ali. I think he just misreads the jump completely and misreads the flight of the ball. I think this will stand.
Okay.
However, they are protected species, goalkeepers, we know that.
Very much a case of wait and see at the moment, and still got players receiving treatment. I don't know who that is for Leeds, flat on their back inside the 6-yard box. Emi Martinez is still sitting down. He is claiming he was fouled. It was the free kick from Longstaff that got hoisted high in the air at the far post. It was an attempting goal. It went straight up in the air. That caused the confusion inside the penalty area. And the referee, Robert Jones, at the moment is just standing on the Aston Villa goal line away to our right with his hands on his hips. But as I say, we don't have any images, any replays of what went on there. I'm just looking down the gantry here, actually. I don't think any of the broadcasters up here, I don't think the replay monitors are working. So just like the fans inside the ground, we are unaware as to exactly what went on, and we are waiting for the decision of the referee, and we are waiting for these two players to get back on their feet. In fact, Emi Martinez is back on his feet, and up on the big screen, checking goal, possible offside. So that is the issue at the moment with this goal. The ball has crossed the line. It's whether there's an offside in the build-up to the goal. So they're looking at Stockley Park, and goodness me, how Leeds United could do with this. And it's Anton Stack, well spotted, Stephen. Anton Stack, who obviously jumped in that melee and was hurt, but he's okay, it seems. He's back on his feet. He's got a Leeds physio to his right-hand side. And the Leeds fans at the moment wait anxiously. And it was a strange one, really, wasn't it, Stephen? Because the delivery came into the far post. It wasn't meant to be sort of knocked up in the air like that, but that's what caused the real problems. And there we go. The goal's given. Ellen Road explodes with noise. Big afternoon for Leeds. They need a win. They've got themselves in front against Aston Villa. No offside offence. Decision goal, it says on the big screen. That's why they're celebrating. And it is Leeds 1, Aston Villa 0.
Well, it's a big moment in the game. They needed an opportunity, Leeds. Aston Villa had started okay. It's a simple delivery into the box, and Aston Villa usually are okay at set pieces, defending them. They don't defend this one convincingly at all. And Emi Martinez doesn't cover himself in any glory whatsoever. We're just seeing a replay on the screen down to our bottom right, and it must have been very, very close.
Yeah, the player they were looking at was Goodmanson, Leeds left back, as that free kick came into the penalty area. But as Stephen says, a tight one. It's gone in Leeds' favour, and the goal has been given on the Premier League app to Stack, who jumped with Martinez, ended up hurt, but he's down on the score sheet as the goal scorer. Leeds 1 up against Villa. And here's John McGinn on the ball just outside the Leeds box. Early shot from Tielemans. Longstaff turned his back. That's a handball. Turned his back on it. It's hit his arm. It's outside the penalty area. Free kick for Aston Villa. Yeah,
Tielemans with a little bit of a tame shot there on the edge of the area. Longstaff goes to close it down, and even from our vantage point now, we can see that the arm comes out from Longstaff. He parries it down. This is an interesting position, probably around about 20, 22 yards out. An opportunity now with Buendia. Luca Digne stood over the ball.
Right, free kick Aston Villa. I'm hearing there's been a try at Murrayfield. We'll go there straight after this. Aston Villa looking to get level as soon as they can. Leeds have bundled the ball over the line in the early stages. They lead Villa 1-0. Before today had failed to score in their last 3 home league games against Aston Villa. That is not going to be 4 in a row today. And that keeps a record for them, because never in their history have they failed to score in 4 home league games against a single opponent, successive home league games. They're in front early on, coming up to 13 minutes played. Luca Digne is there, Buendia is there for Aston Villa. You can see Buendia's shirt just being tugged in the chilly breeze in Yorkshire here this afternoon. Leeds have one man in the bright white shirt down as the draft excluder behind the wall. Lucas Perry is trying to peer through that. Here's Buendia, floats it over the wall, over the bar, and behind for a goal kick to Leeds. Leeds 1, Villa 0. Who scored the try at Murrayfield? Andy Burke.
The third try for Scotland comes from Max Williamson. Scotland leading Tonga by 21 points to 0. Jamie Ritchie got them up and running with the opening score. George Turner crossed for a try on his 50th appearance, and Williamson has just added a third. 27 minutes gone. Scotland 21, Tonga 0.
Commentary continues on Sports Extra, which will also have commentary of England-Argentina. Kicks off at 4:10 this afternoon. Leeds 1 up. Okafor just inside the Aston Villa half, does well to hold on to the ball, plays it back to Strauch. Here's Ampadu. And back to Strauch. It comes. Thought about going right, turns to his left. Joe Rodon available on the right-hand side, but again, Strauch just receives the ball from Anton Stack. Then is encouraged to bring it forward up towards the halfway line. Slow pass to his left to Stack. Stack in the orange boots. Plays back to Strauch. Patient stuff from Leeds. Rodon involved now. Ollie Watkins comes towards him. As soon as he does, plays the pass to his left.
They won't engage. That's exactly what they won't do, Aston Villa. They'll just wait for an opportunity for a poor pass, and then they've just got one. Long ball, diagonal, and then they retain the ball or get the ball back, and it's just a patient approach from Unai Emery's team.
Right, they've changed their mind on the Premier League app. Metch has been given the goal, so that's 2 in 2 for him. So we had it as Okafor, then we went Stack. Now we're giving it Lucas Metcher.
Wow.
It doesn't matter, Leeds are 1 up.
No,
That's what the Leeds fans will care about. And Leeds have conceded a free kick this time. Longstaff a little exuberant in the challenge on Luca Dean, but that is what the Leeds fans want to see. And I do think, actually, Stephen, that opening goal really important for Leeds, because had they not started well today, given the last two performances, I think here at Ellen Road, just as you were saying before kick-off, could have got difficult for them. Yeah,
it's exactly what you need, especially after an international break as well. Going into this very difficult period now, going into January, can you get some results on the board? Well, how do you do that? Starting well in a game like this against Aston Villa, a good team, get the crowd right up behind you. They've done that so far, Leeds United. 5 Live, BBC Sounds, former Leeds and Villa defender and England international Stephen Warnock with us here at Ellen Road. Martinez clears for Villa up towards the halfway line. Rodon leans into Watkins. And there's a challenge on Camara, the Villa midfielder. He goes down in the centre circle. John McGinn wanted to take that quickly. Ampadu picked the ball up. McGinn's complaining that Ampadu has delayed the restart of the game, and Ollie Watkins has got to catch his breath as well, having been knocked over by Joe Rodon. So Villa 1-0 down, having won 5 of their last 6 Premier League games. They've taken the free kick short to Konza. Konza plays it to Camara. Camara here to the unmistakable figure of John McGinn, who sweeps a low left-footed ball across the halfway line to Torres. Now forward to Buendia. Bogle again snapping into a challenge through the back of Buendia. No free kick. Ampadu gets a warning that Ollie Watkins is racing up behind him. Buendia seems to be in some pain, down on his knees, slaps the floor in frustration. Leeds stopped playing for a second there, didn't need to. Aronson has it on the right, knocked over by Tielemans, picks himself up, Bogle in to win a 50-50. And the Leeds fans loving the commitment from their team. Stack is then knocked over by John McGinn. Free kick goes Leeds' way. And John McGinn, I know exactly what he's saying here to the referee, Stephen. There's been 2 or 3 challenges there where Villa feel they should have had a free kick. The first one McGinn makes, Leeds get the free kick. Yeah, he will feel that, but it was a foul. But brilliant from Bogle, just setting the tempo within the stadium, picking the crowd up. It's not always just a good pass, a run, it can be a challenge. And what I'd say about Leeds in this game so far is they're snapping at the heels. They're making it very difficult for Leeds players. When they turn, they're aggressive. And what you're going to have to do as well is disrupt Aston Villa's rhythm, and that's what Leeds are doing so far early on in this game. 17 minutes in first half. So Lucas Mecha with the goal that has Leeds in front against Aston Villa. Rain still falling, dripping from the roofs of these stands. Free kick into the penalty. That's McGinn's header that is lofted back to Emi Martinez, which, if it was deliberate, was beautifully measured and cushioned into the arms of the goalkeeper from about 10 yards away. Brilliant header. I think he did mean it. Yeah. He was looking at his goalkeeper as he headed it. Brave. Could have lobbed him and dropped into the far corner. Emery furiously waving his hands around here. I've been there, done that. Yes. Here's Konza. Konza for Cash. Cash lays it back to Konza. Leeds chasing, closing everything down at the moment. Looking for a 4th win of the season. So far it's been home wins against Everton and West Ham, and 1 away win at Wolves. This would be a big one. Next 3 games really tough for them in the Premier League. Manchester City away, Chelsea home, Liverpool then come here, although Liverpool in all sorts of problems at the moment, so maybe the Leeds fans will tell you that might not be so tricky. 18 minutes into the first half, Torres bringing the ball forward, fires it long with his left foot. Rodon's got it covered, heads it towards the halfway line. Tielemans passes it back into the Leeds half. Bogle is there. Buendia's put him under pressure. Tielemans onto the loose ball. Leeds have it back with Brendan Aronson. Little dribble forward. Layoff from Mecha. Stack goes down. No free kick. Good ball from McGinn into the feet of Watkins. Rodon's there. Really important. Right-footed touch. Saw the danger. Gets a nudge on the ball. And Lucas Perry, the goalkeeper, is able to come across. And actually, not only do Ellen Road applaud, his entire teammates applaud the touch from Rodon there as well. Yeah, good covering from Rodon. Had to be alive to the situation, and that's the type of ball I was talking about earlier on. It's just playing on the shoulder. I actually thought Ollie Watkins would breeze past Joe Rodon there, but he showed a good turn of pace, Rodon. Got back in and got a good challenge in. 5 Live and BBC Sounds at a wet, chilly Ellen Road. Leeds 1, Villa 0. Full commentary on the North London derby to follow at 4:30 this afternoon. Arsenal against Spurs. Win for Arsenal. They will go 6 points clear, but Spurs
like Villa, starting the day on 18 points, and now Robert Jones is calling the Leeds physios on again, and that's Stack, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and he's just gone down again. Then whether it's a continuation from the problem before, but he's almost getting that gesture in front of his face, Ali, where when you do your vision, I'm
blurred.
struggling, and blurred vision, so yeah, you don't want to take any chances with this.
Yeah, one of the summer signings, Anton Stack, tall, angular German, plays in midfield, signed from Hoffenheim for 17 million this summer. So he is sitting down again, just inside the Leeds half. Over on the big screen away to our right, they're just showing a replay of the goal where he took the knock on the head, jumping with Martinez. Mecha running away to celebrate. Leeds 1, Villa 0, and Unai Emery just having a word with a couple of his Villa players as well. But I think Leeds are going to have to make the change here, because I can see one of Daniel Farke's coaching staff waving one of the subs immediately back to the bench here. So it's going to be an early change for Leeds. Is it Tanaka?
Yeah, it is.
Tanaka. Yeah, Japanese international Ao Tanaka waiting to come on.
Yeah, we haven't got the monitor in front of us now for the replays, well, we have, but it's not working. But I've just saw a replay of the goal, and the offside was for the initial ball in.
Right.
Goodmanson was at the back post, and I think that's where they were wondering, was he offside? But again, you look at Martinez, his experience, his stature as a player, the size of him. Go and clean out the player, go and win the ball. His poor goalkeeping.
Right, shame for Anton Stack. Applause, sympathetic applause from the Leeds fans all around us. His afternoon is over, and Ao Tanaka will come on to replace him. Leeds leading Aston Villa 1-0. Commentary continues over on Radio 5 Sports Extra of Scotland against Tonga in the latest of the autumn internationals. England Argentina follows on Sports Extra, kicks off at 4:10. Sheffield United have won 3-0 at Sheffield Wednesday in the Championship this afternoon, and we'll keep you updated on Aberdeen Hearts as well, which kicks off at 3 o'clock in the Scottish Premiership. Hearts starting the day with a 4-point lead at the top of the table because of Callum McGregor's wonder strike, which got Celtic a late win at St Mirren last night. And don't forget, we're into Champions League action again next week, so commentary's coming out of your ears on 5 Live and Sports Extra starting on Tuesday night. 5 Live has Chelsea-Barcelona. Choice of listening, Manchester City, Leverkusen will be on Sports Extra. And Wednesday night we're at the Emirates Stadium. The top 2 going into this round of fixtures meet there. Arsenal against Bayern Munich, PSG Tottenham will be on Sports Extra. And some famous football meetings in the week actually in the Europa League and Europa Conference League, as the ball is played in behind here for Mecha to chase. He's into the penalty area, crossing to the near post and knocked into the side netting by Brendan Aronson. The angle got very tight. You're just hoping there that the touch you get will put enough angle on it to get it past Martinez into the far corner, and he couldn't quite do that, Stephen.
No, too much of a clean touch, wasn't it? Just needed to be a glancing touch from Brendan Aronson, but positive again from Leeds United, getting in behind Aston Villa. Aston Villa not finding this easy. Great pressure again from Aronson.
Yeah, that's the strategy from Leeds. As soon as Villa start to play out, they're on top of them, and they thought they'd won themselves a corner there. Martinez played the ball to Pau Torres. Torres tackled on the dead ball line by Brendan Aronson. Aronson, the American international, claiming that it was Torres's final touch that took it over the line, but it's been given as a goal kick. And Villa will not change, we know that. And here they go playing out again. Camera being closed down by Tanaka, nearly loses the ball. Torres decides this time to go long with a first-time clearance with his left foot, volleyed away by Strauch. Tielemans comes flying in, side-footed volley pass. Buendia trying to slide it through the middle for Watkins, read by Rodon again. Rodon comes striding towards the halfway line with the ball at his feet. Back to his Welsh international teammate Ethan Ampadu. Ampadu curls a ball across to Jayden Bogle. Bogle on the turn, has support here from Longstaff. Nice football from Leeds until Longstaff slightly overhits the pass to try and get it back to Bogle down the right, and it goes out of play for a throw-in. But I have to say, Stephen, compared to certainly Nottingham Forest when I saw them a couple of weeks ago, they actually started well in that game and then faded badly. But the Brighton performance, this is much, much better from Leeds so far.
It's been really good so far, but Aston Villa have allowed that to happen. It's too slow, too easy from Aston Villa, too predictable. And again, the pressure from Leeds, nearly pinching the ball back.
Here they come, Aston Villa, though. They still have it on the right-hand side. Cash is up against Goodmanson. Goodmanson is forcing him away from goal. Cash turns, finds McGinn. McGinn plays back to Camera. Camera tries to slide one through the lines, looking for Rodgers. Leeds have intercepted. Longstaff under a bit of pressure. Clears only as far as McGinn. Was that a foul? No. Tanaka flicks it forward to Okafor. And Okafor suddenly is running at Konza, who is backing off, and Okafor's getting up close to the edge of the penalty area, comes inside, looks for Tanaka. Tielemans is there to intercept. Clever skills as well from Tielemans, knocks it round Longstaff, collects it the other side, then decides to slow it down. Had Rodgers ahead of him and Watkins wide left, but instead plays the ball back to Matty Cash. So 25 minutes gone in the first half. Leeds 1, Aston Villa 0. Not going with the form book at the moment. Torres to Tielemans. Tielemans chips one over the top. Rodon is there, heads it to his right. Is the flag going to go up for offside? Stays down at the moment. Leeds thought Watkins was offside there. Watkins has won it, tries to backheel it towards Dean. Aronson is back there, clears on the turn. Falls to Longstaff just outside his own penalty area. Can't get it to Aronson. Here's Tielemans, 40 yards from goal in a central position. Bobbles a pass across to Camera. Gets there just in time ahead of Okafor. And suddenly Cash has a bit of space and a chance to get across into the box. Watkins attacks it and heads it well wide of the target. But I think it was Joe Rodon again doing the defending there, who put Watkins off the header, and it's gone behind for the goal kick. Leeds 1, Villa 0. More from Stephen Warnock in a second. Latest from Murrayfield on Scotland Tonga in the rugby, Andy Burke.
Scotland 21, Tonga 0. They've scored 3 tries through Jamie Ritchie, George Turner and Max Williamson, but Tonga have done pretty well to take the sting out this game, take Scotland's tempo away from them. They are pushing for that 4th try as we head towards half time, but it remains Scotland 21, Tonga 0.
Just trying to get our make-do replay monitor up here, Stephen, on my phone. I think that's the best we're going to be able to do for this first half, but it will be better than nothing, which is what we've got on the actual monitor away to our right-hand side.
Yeah, the technicians have tried the off and on button 7 times now, replugging it in and out, and it's not worked.
Still not working.
I think I could have done that.
Goodmanson playing down the line to Okafor. Okafor's fouled by Cash. Free kick for Leeds.
Just going back to that cross and into the box, it was a brilliant ball from Matty Cash, and I thought Ollie Watkins had stole half a yard on Joe Rodon, but he got his body back in front of him. It was just such an important challenge, because Ollie Watkins looked like he was just about to nod it into an empty net and get Villa level.
A couple of really important interventions from Joe Rodon, who's on the ball now. Side foots it here towards Tanaka. Tanaka plays back into the Leeds half. Back it comes to the goalkeeper, Lucas Perry, who's not had anything to do as yet. Rain continues to fall heavily here at Ellen Road. Perry makes his mind up to pass out to Strauch. Rodgers is close to the Leeds defender. Played down the line by Goodmanson towards Okafor, but wide of him, and it goes out for a throw-in to Aston Villa on the right. Just short of the halfway line, they take it and throw it back to Konza. Konza plays across to Torres. Ellen Road goes quiet momentarily. Luca Dean receives the ball on the left. Aronson is there in front of him, so just plays it back to Torres again. Then Dean sets off on a run, has some space here on the left for Villa. First touch, then passes infield to Watkins. Ampadu immediately onto Watkins. He gets it back to Tielemans, looking to thread one through to Rodgers. Watkins trying to close it down. Bogle clears, caught late by Watkins. His momentum took him into the Leeds defender as Bogle cleared. That will be painful. There wasn't too much Watkins could do about that, was there, Stephen?
No, not at all. Had to go for the ball, had to make the challenge, and he's put in a difficult situation there, Bogle. The pass was short to him, it enticed Ollie Watkins into that challenge. But Aston Villa, again, the ball went into Ollie Watkins a few moments earlier. He was just too slow on the ball and waiting to see runners round him and not quite seeing all the movements in and around them. It's been disappointing so far from Aston Villa, but from a Leeds point of view, been a great half an hour or so from them.
Just improved the monitor situation there. I've got a funky little plastic gadget there which has a little clip on it that holds the phone in place. So now we're laughing now.
Oh, absolutely flying. Here we go. It's a good job I've got my glasses on though.
I forgot to put mine on today, actually. Maybe that's why I didn't get the goal scorer straight away.
I don't think either of us did,
no,
did we?
Didn't.
We were too busy watching what had gone on in the melee.
Yeah, that's right. Leeds 1, Villa 0. Lucas Metcher with the goal. 2-2 for him. Villa have it with Cash on the right. Rodgers made the run through the middle. Cash didn't release the pass. Rodgers has got to get back into an onside position. Funny weather now. We're totally sort of covered by the roof above our heads, but it seems brighter out there, even though the rain continues to fall. Okafor is deep in the left-back position for Leeds. Fires one upfield. Lovely flick. Backheeled flick from Metcher. Look for Aronson. Tielemans nearly loses it on the halfway line. Here's Torres inside his own half. He's got to be offside, Watkins. Yeah, he knows it as well. Stops the run. The pass is beyond him. And the flag.
So this is the awkward thing now. So now Leeds get a throw in, but deep in their own half, and now Aston Villa can pin them in.
But why is the assistant referee not put the flag on? He was miles offside.
Because Ollie Watkins has stopped going for the ball, made no attempt to go for it. And now this is a difficult situation. That's why the Leeds fans are booing, and rightly so. This is where the laws do need changing.
Half an hour gone. First half at Ellen Road. Those are the thoughts of Stephen Warnock. Leeds 1, Villa 0. Ampadu heads it up in the air. Tielemans nods it back towards the edge of the Leeds box. Rodon wins the next header, all a bit scruffy. Bogle thumps a clearance into Dean. Dean didn't know anything about it, comes off him and goes out for another throw into Leeds in the right back position. So after that 30 seconds of football, we're back to exactly where we were in the first place. Bogle will look for Metcher here, but the header's won by Dean. Next one by Ampadu, next one by Dean, half volleyed away by Rodon. And then Torres leaps and nods it out of play for a Leeds throw on the right, which Bogle gets ready to take. The pitch already scarred and pockmarked by some of the sliding challenges, the stops and turns by the players on a wet afternoon as Bogle launches this high down the right. Dean heads it away. Bogle has a slash at it with his right foot, didn't make connection. Rodgers on the turn, suddenly gliding forward, ball at his feet. Nearly ran to Watkins. Strong challenge on Watkins. He went right up in the air. Then Ampadu's caught. Shot ends up in the back of the net from McGinn. The referee had already given the free kick to Leeds. John McGinn throws his arms out and says, why isn't it 1-1? But I think everyone inside the stadium knew that the referee had already blown the whistle. There's a lot going on there.
I just don't understand how Tanaka got away with that challenge on Ollie Watkins. He nearly emptied him. Watkins had to jump out the way to get away from it. Referee Rob Jones, oblivious to what went on, continues to play, and Leeds get away with one.
Rodon, first time ball, back to Ampadu. Ampadu assessing his options inside his own half. Rodgers and Watkins both about 7-8 yards away from him. Forward to Tanaka, back to Ampadu. Ampadu slides a pass down the left to Longstaff, does the same here. Longstaff onto Goodmanson, and Goodmanson doesn't get enough on it to find Aronson, who was just inside him in the midfield. Nice ball from Tielemans to Buendia.
It's a block. Come on, ref, you've got to see that.
Block on Buendia, not given. Leeds have it. Bogle charging away down the right. Clever flick, tries to beat his man again. Buendia's over there, dogged in the challenge there. Sticks with it, wins it for Villa. Here's Camara, gets his head up, sees Cash speeding away down the right. Brilliant defending from Okafor, who came sliding back to win it, and then suddenly Goodmanson picks up the attack for Leeds into the penalty area. Cut back! Chance for Metcher, just couldn't get a touch on the ball, and Torres is there for Aston Villa. Had he not been able to get in there and intercept, Leeds may well have been 2 goals to the good. That's a foul, surely, by Goodmanson on the dead ball line. The referee does see this one and gives the free kick to Villa. Ellen Road is alive.
Oh, it certainly is. That was brilliant from Goodmanson down that left-hand side. Opened his legs and Camara couldn't get anywhere near him. The only part of the run that he couldn't complete was the end product. A simple ball across the 6-yard box. It looks simple, but it is more difficult. It's just lifted this crowd again. What I'd say, Ali, is Leeds are playing the elements better. They're winning every challenge, they're winning every second ball. They look like they're up for the fight more than Aston Villa at the moment.
Well, we were talking before the game about how, yes, the result was important this afternoon, but for Leeds in particular, the manner of the performance. And so far, 35 minutes in, it has been excellent from Leeds United. They are 1-0 up. McGinn on the turn. Goes down, no free kick. Ampadu forward to Aronson. Dean snaps in to a challenge. Villa have it back. Camera up towards Watkins. Rodon read that. Good forward pass. Brilliantly cut out by Longstaff. It was Buendia who very skillfully volleyed the ball forward, trying to release Watkins. Another foul given against Villa. Unai Emery says that's a dive. There's all sorts of theatrical gestures. I mean, you know exactly what he's saying. First, he did the old spectacles to the eyes. Referee, you know, you need your glasses. And then he went for the old hands sort of flopping forward, as in he's dived.
Yeah, and Buendia straight over to the fourth official. We saw the block on him before, the little cheeky nutmegs, and ran around the other side of the player, got blocked, and then didn't get that foul. So they're feeling a little bit aggrieved here, Aston Villa.
Leeds United in the mood. Okafor dribbling, trying to beat Cash, does so, crossing to the far post. Mecha throws himself at the ball, couldn't get the touch on it. Bodies everywhere inside that penalty area. Bogle with another stand-up cross to the back post, but the referee has already said the ball's gone out of play. Is it goal kick? Yeah, goal kick. Leeds 1, Villa 0.
Better in wide positions though, aren't they, Leeds United? Okafor there, Goodmanson on the left-hand side, that relationship that they've got. Villa finding it difficult to deal with those two players. Lovely stand-up to the back post, and Mecha was just outnumbered by Pau Torres and Luca Digne at the back post. It was really good defending by Aston Villa.
Leeds inspired at the moment. Win this afternoon would take them to 14 points, level with Fulham, but behind them on goal difference. They'd be up to 16th. They'd be above Nottingham Forest and West Ham. Tanaka, who's on for Stack, who had to go off, we think, with blurred vision, having been involved in the build-up to the Leeds goal in that midfield. He's been fouled in the centre circle.
So will that go down as a concussion substitution?
That's a good point.
I think it will,
yeah,
won't it? If it is one of those.
Yeah, which will give them an extra and won't count as... Yes, it is, in fact. You're right, absolutely bang on. It says that on our all-important Premier League app. Leeds all in white, on the ball. Struijk, the one change this afternoon, Struijk in for Biol at the back.
Just feel like at the moment, this is a moment where Leeds need to capitalise. They're smelling blood a little bit with Aston Villa, not quite at the races. But if you go in at 1-0 at half-time, you know Aston Villa are going to come out better in the second half. Legs are going to get a little bit tireder. You've got to take advantage while you can.
Right, that's a miscue from Lucas Perry off his left foot. The ball goes spinning in the air just outside the Leeds area. A couple of headers get it away for now. Okafor is back now. He's a real handful, Okafor. He's strong and quick and holding off Cash to keep the ball for Leeds. Then Struijk has ballooned the ball out of play as he cleared from just outside his penalty area. That'll be a Villa throw on the right, and we've got about 9 minutes left in the first half here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Arsenal Spurs commentary at 4:30. That's with John Murray and Clinton Morrison. 6:06 from 6:30 this evening after the Arsenal Spurs game, so you can have your say on the weekend's football. That'll be followed at 8 o'clock on 5 Live by half an hour of the Checkered Flag podcast after the Las Vegas Grand Prix in the early hours, and then at 8:30 the Premier League review hosted by Aaron Paul, 8:30 till 9 on 5 Live, and then over to Sports Extra at 9 o'clock for the regular NFL coverage if you fancy that. That is Eagles at Cowboys. They've got the monitors working. Stephen at Ellen Road, and Stephen quite rightly turns around, gives our engineer.
Thanks very much, pal. Appreciate it.
He gets a thank you live on air. Good job, good job. It means my funky little phone gadget can be put away. Okafor with pace. Cash has the measure of him, slides in and concedes the corner. You're right, Stephen. It feels like a moment in the game where Leeds really need to score the second. Cash is down, actually. Seems to be holding his neck there.
I just wonder whether Okafor's tried to jump over him. No, he's just stood on his hand. Stood on Matty Cash's hand. Unintentional completely, but yeah, I just think there's a moment in a game where you think they're not quite there, Aston Villa. And there's a lovely play by Okafor again, getting to the line.
He looks dangerous. Okafor wide on the left. Corner for Leeds will come in from the left. Still these big, fat, heavy raindrops are dripping from the front of the roof of this John Charles stand, which angles down above our heads. Loads of white shirts inside the penalty area. Corner comes in from the left. Struijk left. Martinez didn't really get much on that. Shot in. Martinez, good save. Low down to his left. That came through a whole host of bodies. Well hit by Aronson. Martinez got down in time to keep it out the back of the net. Then he released Rodgers, and Rodgers didn't feel the break was on. Didn't see a pass ahead of him. So he stopped. He's tackled by Mecha, and eventually Villa win the throw.
He's furious, Morgan Rodgers, because when he looked up, there was no one else running with him. There's no one else getting near him. He's just saying to Ollie Watkins, why are you pulling off to the other side of the pitch? But coming back to the save by Martinez, it's a superb save because it's through about 4 or 5 bodies. He's just trying to get a vision, a sight on the ball, down low to his left-hand side. It's not the fact that he saves it, it's the fact that he actually keeps hold of it in these conditions as well.
Pace that is really sweetly hit by Aronson, McGinn for Villa. Little 1-2 with Camera. Dean in space on the left. McGinn has seen that. Lofted pass. Dean controls it nicely. Rolls it down to the dead ball line to Buendia. Did he keep that in? Referee says yes. Back heel though. The ball runs to Leeds. Cleared by Aronson up towards Metcher. Takes it on his chest. It just goes too wide over the touchline. He goes sliding into the Leeds technical area. Aston Villa get the throw.
Decision making's poor from Aston Villa though, as the ball comes out to the left hand side. The ball down the side to Buendia. Where's he going to go with that pass? It's such a difficult one. You're running out of ground. You're trying to then dig a ball out to the back post. There's nowhere he can go with it. Fake the pass, come back out, keep it, or deliver the ball yourself. It's just that decision making at the moment's off from Villa.
Now that was a decent first time pass from McGinn, and this time Villa get a free kick. Ampadu's challenge on Buendia. McGinn again over in the referee's ear, complaining. Maybe he's saying, should that be a card?
No, Bogle threw the ball away as McGinn went to get the ball, and he's right here. He's right, because McGinn went to take it quick and he flicked it past him. So McGinn's asked for it and said, well, why?
McGinn's right. Do you know the optics of that are just not great for the referee there, because the referee really wants, you know, he might have been about to do that, I don't know, but it looks a little bit like, oh right, John McGinn's told me to book him, so I'm going to go and book him. That's why you heard the boos from the Leeds fans, but you're absolutely right. McGinn, sharp as a tack there, going in to try and get Villa moving.
Yeah, but I think he's within his rights to say that. I wanted to take the free kick. Like, why are you letting him get away with that? It's not flashing the card, it's asking a question. I think there's the difference with the fake card, isn't there?
I agree. So do you think the referee was going to give it anyway? Let's just see what Villa do with the set piece here. They were trying something funky there. Ball to McGinn. McGinn's getting booed. Chip ball into the Leeds penalty area. Rodon climbs highest, heads it away. Dean comes sprinting across, wins the next header. Goodmanson gets in front of him. He's facing the dead ball line here. He wants that to go behind for a goal kick, and the referee's given the goal kick.
Again, the interesting part about that, we're on line with where the free kick's being taken. Morgan Rogers is 5 yards offside. The referee the assistant referee on the far side was about to put his flag up. Then it continues play because Leeds players get the ball, but then they're fighting for possession, and you're like, just put your flag up.
Yeah.
If they concede a corner there,
that could
it's
easily
a
have gone for a
position.
Corner, couldn't it? Yeah, you're hitting it against the opponent's legs, just hoping that they get the last touch and you don't. Unai Emery has a pained expression on his face at the moment, not enjoying this first visit to Elland Road right now. 3 minutes left in the first half. Lucas Perry, the Leeds keeper, giant of a man, all in blue, whacks the ball downfield with his right foot. Ampadu heads it up in the air. Rogers wins the next header. Bogle launches one high downfield. Metcher gets their first head of Torres, who looked like he might just have pulled him back there. Metcher went down. Assistant referee had a good view, didn't put his flag up. Referee saw it too, no free kick. Martinez, lobbed pass out to the right. Then the ball down the right-hand side to McGinn, who goes back into Goodmanson, wants the free kick, and the referee's not buying that one.
It is a foul. It is a foul, because McGinn's within his rights to pin the player. Then if he pins the player and you drag him to the floor, you just cannot do that. I think Rob Jones has struggled a little bit today. I think the game's sort of got beyond him at times.
But there's a way as well, isn't there, Stephen, that McGinn in his role can make that look like... I think he was definitely being dragged to the floor there, but I guess you've just got to let him... At times, he's so difficult to defend like that, you've just got to let him have it there.
Yeah, I think there's a feeling from Goodmanson that he doesn't want him to roll him.
Yeah.
Because if he rolls him, then he's got to pass and it becomes more difficult. So he's thinking, I'd quite happily give the free kick away if I have to.
Oh, that's a nice turn from Rogers, making his way towards that Leeds penalty area. Here is McGinn, lays it off to Camera. Camera, little dink ball into the penalty area. Shot! Just wide of the target. That was well hit first time by Matty Cash on his left foot. But Lucas Perry doesn't have to make the save. Leeds 1, Villa 0.
Yeah, well, we talk about decision-making. Wrong decision from John McGinn. We talked about him before the game and his quality that he possesses. He should have played Matty Cash out wide. Matty Cash was the one who wanted the ball. Then he'd have had a shot on his right foot, his favoured right foot. Then he has to cut inside and lashes the ball with his left foot, drags it horribly wide.
Arsenal Spurs on the way. Steve Crossman presenting Five Live's Premier League Sunday live from the Emirates Stadium. Just looking at the stats ahead of that one. Spurs have won one of their last 32 Premier League games at Arsenal. Metcher's back heel. Runs to Tanaka. Into the feet of Aronson. Tanaka gets it straight back. Longstaff is there in support. Ball up towards Okafor, who was on the diagonal run just outside the Villa penalty area. Villa have taken it off him. Watkins heads the ball down looking for his teammate Rodgers. Couldn't find him. Here's Goodmanson. Goodmanson has Ampadu on the outside this time, just inside the Villa half. Goodmanson continues his run down the left. Now it's Goodmanson against Cash. Goodmanson gets the cross in. It's over Martinez. It's over the goal frame, and it stays in play, I think, or did it go behind? No, it went behind for a goal kick. And the fourth official, Peter Banks, is on his way out here to tell us there's going to be 6 minutes of added time, and all of that obviously to do with the goal, the Leeds goal early in this game, which took a while to sort out, and obviously Anton Stack got injured in the process. So Aston Villa have taken their goal kick short as they do. Emi Martinez is now waving Pau Torres and the other centre-backs forward either side of him. The
big thing I don't see with Aston Villa is they don't have an out ball. So when you watch Leeds at the moment, you know that Okafor and Goodmanson down that left-hand side are an out ball. If they want to, they can slip Mathurin down on the left-hand channel of Aston Villa to get a 1v1 with Pau Torres. They don't have an out ball, Villa. They've got no way of getting out at the moment.
Watkins, low pass into Rodgers. Rodgers hits the shot. That's blocked. It comes back to Camera. Watkins hits it. First time, wide. Perry threw himself to his left. It made me think that was heading for the top corner. Sweetly struck, just off target. Better from Villa.
Yeah, a little bit of quick movement from Aston Villa. 1- and 2-touch football as they spin it into Watkins. He sets it outside the post. It actually hits that post behind the goal and goes back into the netting, and that's why a lot of Aston Villa fans thought it had gone in. But Perry was at full stretch. He was using all of his frame. I think he was quite comfortable knowing. I think he dived almost to make sure, but I think he was actually happy that it was going wide.
1 goal in 16 appearances for Ollie Watkins. Just had a close-up of him sporting a thin pencil moustache at the moment. Metcher penalised for Leeds inside the Villa half. Got 4.5 minutes less of added time at the end of this first half. Rodgers is making a run from right to left. Konsa's got the ball at his feet for Villa just inside his own half.
It's very interesting when they make those runs though, Ali. The two centre-backs follow them.
Oh yeah.
They don't step up. So that's what Aston Villa know. They know if they get a 1v1 that they'll run with them. So you're effectively going into a position where you can run at players. That's a heavy challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, that was Tanaka on camera. Ball was there to be won, but Tanaka did not get to the ball first. Caught camera. Referee steps in. He's surrounded by players from both sides at the moment. And he's showing a yellow card here to Ao Tanaka for the challenge on Boubacar Kamara. And Kamara's not made a meal of that, actually. Definitely caught, definitely a foul. But Kamara's picked himself up, and Stephen's just having a look at a couple of slow motion replays. He kicks at the ball, doesn't he?
It's just a follow through, yeah. It's a very difficult one for the referee to see that speed. But when Tanaka got up, he said, I've played the ball. And I understand that. Straight away, it looked like a really heavy challenge, but the referee's in a better position than we are up here. But the one thing I'd say again, Leeds snapping into every challenge. They're winning all the duels. Yeah,
he's kicked the ball with his left foot as he slides there, and then the follow-through of the kick has caught Kamara. That's why Villa have this free kick. Tielemans chips it into the box, headed away by Strauch, falls to McGinn. He goes straight back to Tielemans here. Last 3 minutes of added time. Another ball chipped into that Leeds penalty area. Diving header knocks it behind from Goodmanson, and Aston Villa get a corner, which I think might be... Is that their first corner of the first half?
I think it is.
I think it is.
Yeah, and that was such an important header from Goodmanson. That ball was almost inch perfect into Matty Cash, and he was at full stretch, a diving header to put it out of play.
Yeah, first corner of the first half for Aston Villa. Konsa, the corner's coming in from the right. He's almost outside the penalty area, wide on the lip.
Setup, isn't it?
Yeah, way beyond the far post. Then Rodgers and Watkins make their runs closer to goal, but Konsa's still lurking way back there. It comes in, ball drops, it's going to be volleyed away by Tanaka. Aronson chases with Kamara. The ball bounces high for Kamara, gets there first, hooks it over his shoulder. Leeds try to pounce here. Okafor chests it down, but it wouldn't come down for him, and Buendia is able to nip in and take the ball for Villa. Back it comes to Konsa. Konsa turns, plays it forward to Buendia. 2 minutes here for Aston Villa to try and find an equaliser before the half-time whistle. Buendia to Rodgers. Tall, elegant figure with that bright yellow ball at his feet. Poor pass. Tanaka intercepts. Nemetcha's flicked header looks for Tanaka. There's Aronson. Finds Tanaka again. No support at the moment. Runs across Tielemans. Clever that from Tanaka, and wins the free kick and slows the game down. Eats up a bit of time. Leeds fans baying here for a yellow card for Yuri Tielemans.
Yeah, well, they want the same decision that happened against Bogle for kicking the ball away. They're saying Luca Dean kicked the ball away. I'm not so sure he did. I think he just kicked it back into the position where the foul was made. But what I'd say is the midfield three, if you call them a three, in Tanaka, Ampadu and Longstaff, they've bossed this in the midfield. They've won every battle. They've been quicker to the second balls. That's where Aston Villa have really suffered in this game.
They're almost two different teams so far this season, Leeds at home and Leeds away. You know, the last two performances so supine and feeble from Leeds, yet this is completely different. Longstaff, free kick goes long. Martinez sees that early, jumps round about the penalty spot, claims it with both hands.
But this place gives you an energy.
Yeah.
It's the same with most home grounds, isn't it? When it's your team, Aston Villa at home are a tough team to play against because of the crowd when they get behind them.
Tielemans looking for that longer ball over the top late in the first half. Couldn't find Rodgers, it's cleared. Dean gets it on the left-hand side. Zippy pass into the feet of Tielemans. Tielemans to Camera, right on the centre spot here. Ball into the path of Watkins is a good one. Watkins brings it down. Leeds fans appealing for a handball there. They felt it struck Watkins on the arm as he tried to control it. Ampadu brings it away, finds Tanaka. Tanaka forward to Mecha. Good run being made by Okafor if they can time this right, Leeds. They've gone wide to the left to Tanaka. Tanaka has Buendia for company and Camera. Has kept it for Leeds. Finds Mecha. Still time to be played at the end of this first half. Can Leeds turn this into anything? Longstaff to Ampadu, back wide to Okafor on the left. Okafor teasing Buendia, corner of the penalty area. Cross comes in, Martinez reads that from a long way out, comes out to the edge of the 6-yard box, catches it and gives it to Tielemans. Tielemans nearly passed it to referee Rob Jones. Tanaka in with a tackle, and then the half-time whistle blows. And I think Leeds United fans are going to be pretty satisfied with what they've seen in the first 45 minutes. Lucas Mecha scored early. Scruffy goal. It came from a Leeds free kick that was floated into the back post, then hoisted up in the air. Villa didn't deal with it. Emi Martinez felt he was fouled. Stack got hurt, but crucially, Mecha got a touch that took it over the line. Leeds have been worth it, haven't they, Stephen?
Yeah, I think they have. I think they've won the battles. I think they've been better in possession and out of possession. I think Aston Villa have been a little bit slow, lethargic in the way that they've played, a little bit too predictable. But so far, Leeds are winning the battle and going ahead at 1-0 at half-time.
Scotsman and a Welshman deep in conversation as they come off the pitch. Not seeing eye to eye, but it's all okay. That's John McGinn and Ethan Ampadu. Half-time at Ellen Road. Leeds in front. Leeds 1, Villa 0. Steve.
What an important goal that could be for Lucas Mecha. 2-2 for him. Leeds 1, Aston Villa 0. We'll bring you second half commentary with Ali Bruce Ball and Stephen Warnock. We're live here from the Emirates. Arsenal Tottenham in full on Premier League Sunday at 4:30. More build up to that shortly. It's already finished in the Championship in the Steel City Derby. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Sheffield United 3. England Argentina in the rugby coming up. We'll look ahead to that after the news with Alison Hughes.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thanks, Steve. The President of the European Commission says Ukraine's borders can't be changed by force, as delegations meet in Geneva to discuss President Trump's draft plan to end the war between Russia and Ukraine. At the talks, Ursula von der Leyen said limitations must not be put on Kiev's defence forces, which would leave it vulnerable to attack. John Foreman has been the UK's defence attaché to both Moscow and Kiev.
The plan itself is a framework for work, further development. I think the reaction that this was a take or leave it plan for the Americans was always wide of the mark. I think there was always room for further refinement, and hopefully that's what we will see in Geneva.
A 13-year-old girl who was arrested on suspicion of murdering a woman in Swindon has been released on bail. The body of the woman, who was in her 50s, was found at a house in the town on Friday evening. Wiltshire police say they're not looking for anyone else in connection with her death. A Christian group in Nigeria says around 50 children who were kidnapped from a Catholic boarding school on Friday have escaped and are back with their families. More than 300 pupils and staff were seized by gunmen in one of the biggest mass kidnappings in the country. Israel says it's carried out an airstrike targeting the Hezbollah chief of staff in the Lebanese capital, Beirut. The health ministry says at least one person has been killed and 21 wounded. And some rail fares in England will be frozen next year for the first time in 30 years. It's part of government plans to transfer rail services back into public ownership.
Welcome to Tailenders! I'm Greg James, he's Felix White. Hello. And that is England's greatest ever bowler, Jimmy Anderson. Hello. We've finally got our break on BBC iPlayer. It's lovely to be here. Usually we are a loosely cricket-based podcast. Yep. Today, we are a cricket-based podcast.
All right. Cricket over there is huge. The wickets are different, the ball's different, and the heat as well. The media coverage over there is so much bigger than a test series in England, for example. Plus, Australia are amazing in their own country.
Tailenders. Watch on iPlayer. Listen on BBC Sounds. This is 5 Live Sports with Steve Crossman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Leeds United won, Aston Villa 0 in the Premier League. Second half commentary to come. Here at the Emirates, we've got Arsenal versus Tottenham on the way at 4:30. Let's check in on the rugby. Scotland-Tonga, Andy Burke.
Scotland 21, Tonga 0. Scotland have lost their way a little bit in this match. They ran in 3 tries through Jamie Ritchie, George Turner and Max Williamson in the opening 22 minutes. But since then, Tonga have managed to disrupt the Scottish rhythm with some pretty cynical tactics at points. They've had 1 yellow and 1 other yellow card that was upgraded to a red. They've gone in with some pretty dangerous shots, it has to be said, but they've done what they've set out to do, and that is stop the Scottish charge. So Scotland need to get a grip of this game if they're to register the sort of win that they came here for. Around 49 minutes on the clock. It's Scotland 21, Tonga 0.
You can listen to that one right now on 5 Sports Extra via BBC Sounds. Once that one has done, you'll get commentary of England versus Argentina live from Twickenham. That's where we find correspondent Chris Jones, and this is all about the clean sweep, Chris.
It is, yeah, and about England finishing 2025 on a high and capping off a magnificent year. You know, listening to Sarah and Grace on air earlier, just talking about how at the start of the year, England were in this funny place. They'd had a ropey autumn this time last year. They were then well beaten in Dublin. France were in town. You started to think, oh, where is this England team going? Well, they recovered to beat France, beat Scotland, end the Six Nations on a real run, back it up on tour, and then 3 from 3 this autumn, and they're 1 win away from going 10 straight wins and then bouncing into that Six Nations in a couple of months' time.
And that's just one of the other reasons why today is so important, and I'm absolutely sure nobody would look past Argentina. You would be mad to do that, but having done what they've done over the autumn, what they don't need now is any sort of asterisk.
Exactly, and they've got to be really careful because Argentina have an unbelievable ability to summon up performances when you least expect it from them. This is a team that have twice beaten the All Blacks in the last couple of calendar years, once home, once away. And it's a team that have got players that week in, week out light up the English Prem. Juan Martín González, one of the best flanks in the game. Pablo Matera's on the bench, as is Santi Carrera, so maybe just a suggestion there that Felipe Contepomi is looking to match England's power and quality off the bench with some star names of his own. But yeah, it feels a game that, yes, England and the fans, after beating New Zealand well, could be thinking about winning and winning well, but this Argentina team is too good. I think any kind of win for England would be great, and that would just give them so much confidence and would really finish their year well, especially when you consider the injuries, Steve. 6 frontliners have gone down in recent weeks: Chesson, Freeman, Roebuck, George Lawrence and Dingwall. So they're slightly patched up in the midfield with Slade and Ajomo. So yeah, it's a game that England should win, but they certainly can't take Argentina lightly because, as Wales and Scotland know over the last few weeks, this Puma side is outstanding.
Chris, thank you very much. That's correspondent Chris Jones, and as I say, 4:10 for the commentary on 5 Sports Extra. A couple of other lines for you. Lando Norris and McLaren teammate Oscar Piastri were disqualified from the Las Vegas Grand Prix earlier for technical infringements. Max Verstappen won the race, so with the disqualifications, he's now 24 points behind Norris in the championship with 2 races remaining. Piastri is level with Verstappen. All the reaction available now on the Checkered Flag podcast on BBC Sounds. In the championship, Sheffield United beat Sheffield Wednesday 3-0 in the Steel City derby at Hillsborough. In Scotland, after Celtic's win at St Mirren last night, Hearts can restore their 7-point lead at the top of the Scottish Premiership. They visit Pittodrie. Kenny Crawford.
Yeah, Callum McGregor's 95th minute wonder strike means Heart of Midlothian now only have a 4-point lead at the top. Derek McInnes' side unbeaten in the Premiership this season, 10 wins, 2 draws. Today he returns to the club in Aberdeen, who he previously managed for 8 years, and he's got a key player missing. Striker and captain Lawrence Shankland, 10 goals this season, one of Scotland's heroes midweek. He's got a calf injury that he suffered in training. Defender Craig Halgett also missing, so Frankie Kent and Michael Steinbender come in. Jimmy Tilleen's Dons are 8th in the league. More encouraging signs of late after a terrible start. Topi Keskinen comes in on the wing for Jesper Karlsson. That's a big miss for Aberdeen. He's been one of their most creative sparks this season. The sleet is falling here at Pittodrie. Kick-off approaching.
Thank you very much, Kenny. Yeah, they're underway in the next minute, and Kenny will keep us right up to date. Leeds 1, Villa 0, second half commentary on the way. We are inside the Emirates, though. The North London derby at 4:30. Arsenal against Tottenham. Clinton Morrison and correspondent John Murray are with us. John, what are we expecting, do you think?
Well, just looking at the Tottenham players walking out onto the pitch to have a look. Black suits, white shirts, some of them T-shirts, some of them open-necked collared shirts, stepping out onto the Emirates Stadium, unbeaten away from home in the league this season, coming here to play Arsenal, who've won all but one match they've played here this season, which was the draw against Manchester City. And, you know, for Arsenal, obviously Manchester City losing that match last night, what a great result that was for them. And OK, Chelsea have won, so Chelsea have got a little bit closer, and this time next week we'll be there, Stamford Bridge, for Chelsea against Arsenal. They play Bayern Munich in the week. North London derby today. That's some week for Arsenal.
Clinton is just staring at the Tottenham players' attire here and wondering where he gets one of those suits from. I can see.
I carry it off a bit better than them, Crossies. You know what I was looking at? Some have got trainers on and some have got shoes on. I think I like the trainer look because it's more. There's no shirt. It's a t-shirt.
I don't like the trainers, and I'll tell you for why. They're stupid television trainers.
Why everyone's got stupid
black
television
shoes with white soles?
John? It's because he does not own a pair. That's why. And let me tell you, I would not have that style. I have my own style, the Clinton Morrison style, as I do, Crossy.
Speaking of men with a little bit of style, the Tottenham manager has just appeared out of the tunnel in front of us as well, John. Thomas Frank.
Yeah, with Anthony, the head of media, in discussions, and I think it's an interesting time, isn't it, for them? Bearing in mind, Clinton, it's the same you and I. We've seen them away and we've seen them at home. Yeah. And, you know, they've looked at Everton. I thought that day they looked strong against an admittedly disappointing Everton on that day. But then, you know, everything that happened with the defeat at home against Chelsea, which went down incredibly badly, the what was it, 0.01 XG that Tottenham had for a home match against Chelsea.
You mention XG before.
Well, you just have
welcome.
that.
Welcome.
It'll be the last time he ever does that, that's for sure.
And yeah, that went down incredibly badly. And of course, what happened with Van der Ven and Spence at the end of the match, which I felt was slightly blown up because of the fact the way that match finished meant that it was incredibly frustrating for Tottenham, their supporters, the players. We know what the atmosphere was like that day, and it was a click of a finger reaction, wasn't it, to what happened?
Yeah, it was. It overshadowed the result. The result was poor anyway, and I can understand a group of players sometimes not wanting to go and clap the fans, but shake your manager's hand. And I think Thomas Frank handled the situation ever so well, and so did Mickey van der Ven, because he's come back in and he's obviously been fantastic. But this is a big game.
Problem is that supporters make up their minds and come to conclusions off the back of things like that.
100%.
Just looking at Jed Spence now, actually, he's out there just in the centre circle with his headphones on. Thomas Tuchel actually responded to that one as well, and we didn't see Jed Spence in from the start of either of the England games in midweek.
Although that was probably more down to the fact he wanted to see O'Reilly start those two matches, and he knew, he'd seen Spence in the previous window, the previous three matches, and O'Reilly starting for Manchester City, playing well, and I think that was probably the reason for that. But there's probably an element in there. It was O'Reilly chosen ahead of Spence.
Yeah. Arsenal, Clinton, no Gabriel, Hincapié, Mosquera.
It's a difficult one. I'd go Mosquera because I think when he's come in before, but I understand Nkapie because he can play on that left-sided one. Or even there was a shout maybe for Calafiori to go there and young Lewis Skelly to go left back. So they've got a lot of choices to be fair. But you're not going to be able to replace Gabriel. Gabriel has been Arsenal's best player this season. It was before we'd always say it was Gabriel and Saliba, and it is a great partnership. Gabriel's the best centre-half there is in the Premier League at the moment. Followed closely by Mark Gahey and Konza. I have to get that out there.
It might be a bit of a righty-lefty thing, John, in that Mosquera could normally be Saliba's replacement and Nkapie could be Gabriel's replacement, possibly.
Which he was. If you remember when Saliba got the early injury at Anfield, Mosquera came on and did very well in that match, albeit the only match that they've lost in this season in all competitions. So that could be part of the thinking. And also just being pointed out to me that Martin Odegaard got off the team coach today. So I wonder if he might be in the picture.
I've got some quotes from Martin Odegaard from the programme as well.
I've just been reading them.
Oh, do you want it? You can read them out.
Well, he said in there, he said, I'm getting closer every day. I've been doing pitch work training. I feel like I'm getting there. And it might well be that he's getting there even faster than we all thought.
Yeah, well, if he's on... Listen, sometimes you can travel because you're the captain and you want to be involved, but would it surprise you if he's on the bench today? It wouldn't surprise me after reading those quotes. And the celebration I saw when Norway was qualifying for the World Cup, it looks like his legs are not too far away. So hopefully he is involved today. It'd be great news for the Arsenal fans.
The final thing, John, worth touching on here, I think, is the ominousness of Arsenal, not only because Liverpool and Manchester City both slipped up, and who knows how Chelsea are going to do. However, we've seen Arsenal without Saka, absolutely fine. We've seen Arsenal without Odegaard, absolutely fine. If they're absolutely fine without Gabriel, then you're running out of potential hurdles for them retaining these levels, aren't you?
Yeah, I get that. But I'm also influenced by the fact that having won 10 matches in a row in all competitions, Arsenal then were pegged back by Brian Brobby's late goal at Sunderland, and suddenly it seemed like it was panic stations.
But the others haven't put the pressure on him now.
Well, not yet.
Apart from Chelsea.
Yeah.
Chelsea are putting the pressure on them.
And no, they've got a home match against Arsenal next Sunday.
Yep.
Okay. So Arsenal have the chance to go 6 points clear. We'll be back to Ellen Road shortly, by the way. They're slightly delayed, so second half commentary of Leeds 1 Aston Villa is on the way. For Tottenham, Clinton, could you see it being almost better for them playing here than at home today?
Yeah, of course it is. You've seen in their results, they've been better away from home. I don't know what it is when they go to at home. They struggle in front of the fans. Maybe the expectation of the fans, some of the players can't deal with it. That's a surprising thing. But I think from away from home, the way Thomas Frank sets his team out, it'll be a battle of the set pieces as well today, Crossy, that's for sure.
It was 0.1 XG, by the way. Not 0.01.
I was going to say, I thought 0.01 probably means you never leave your own penalty area. So Leeds 1 Aston Villa 0. We've got the North London derby to come, but we're ready at Ellen Road. Ali.
Double change being made by Unai Emery at half-time. We were talking about the partnership between Matty Cash and John McGinn down the right for Aston Villa. Unai Emery not happy with the link up down the left in that first half because Luca Dean and Emi Buendia have both come off. Ian Matson will come on for Luca Dean at left back, and Daniel Marlon, the Dutch international, comes on, number 17 on his back. I was feeling slightly sorry for those two substitutes, having done their brief warm-up on the pitch. We're waiting for a couple of minutes there, standing here in the pouring rain and freezing cold, waiting for this game to get back underway with the two teams still safely tucked up in the tunnel at that time. But there's the double change for Villa. Leeds lead 1-0. And Stephen Warnock and I had a good old look at 2 or 3 slow-motion replays. We've eventually got the monitor working here of the goal, which is a really scruffy one, a slightly unlucky one from Aston Villa's point of view, in the fact that Konza actually sort of blocks the goal-bound effort on the line. Cross comes here into the Leeds box. It's just beyond Watkins and goes behind for the goal kick. And he scrapes a clearance away with his left foot, Stephen, and it just hits Mecha and comes flying back past him and into the back of the net. Emi Martinez definitely did not cover himself in glory there, having watched that a couple of times at half-time.
No, Goodmanson does really well at the back post just to get the ball back into the air. But when he goes up for the header, Stack, he goes up with Emi Martinez, and Martinez just hits the deck and there's no contact at all. I've got to say, the fall from Stack is horrible, isn't it? When he falls awkwardly on his neck, and understandable why he's left the pitch. But yeah, Emi Martinez doesn't cover himself in any glory at all.
No, really brave leap from Stack, because he knows getting up that high, he's then sort of knocked off balance and landed on his back and his neck. He kept on playing for 5 minutes or so and then had to go off. But Emi Martinez, I think, was... Well, he was claiming that he was fouled. He certainly wasn't. It was a fairly non-committal jump, and Villa got punished for it. So back underway, Villa in the claret and blue, claret bodies to the shirts, light blue sleeves, claret shorts with light blue stripes down the side, and claret socks with the light blue tops. And Leeds all in white. They're defending the goal away to our right. They have Lucas Perry in goal. They've got Bogle, Rodon, Strauch and Goodmanson as the back four. Ampadu in front of them. Tanaka is on for Stack. He's alongside Longstaff. Then Brandon Aronson and Noah Okafor either side of the goal scorer Metcher. McGinn's been fouled. Free kick Villa just inside the Leeds half. They've got Emi Martinez in goal. Cash, Konza, Torres and now Maatsen at left back. Here's Cash on the right hand side. The ball bounces twice in front of him. He controls it, passes it back to Marlon. Low cross in, finds the back of the net from the near post. Not sure who got the final touch there. Rodgers is celebrating, Marlon is celebrating, but the double change has had an effect right at the start of the second half. And Marlon did exactly what he needed to do in that position. Put pace on it, whipped it into the near post, hoping for a touch. It got that touch, and Lucas Perry could do nothing about it. It's Leeds 1, Villa 1.
Oh, it's a brilliant ball from John McGinn into Matty Cash down the right-hand side, and Marlon finds a pocket of space in the penalty area, which is just unthinkable why he's been given that space, but he fizzes the ball hard and low. If this comes off Morgan Rodgers, it is an outstanding finish. It's just towed into the far corner. We talked before about Brendan Aronson's chance that was fizzed at him. It is absolutely brilliant from Morgan Rodgers. It's the death of touches off his big toe, flicks it into the far corner. Brilliant start to the second half for Aston Villa.
Brilliant from Marlon to put it in that space at pace, and as Stephen says, genius from Rodgers. They don't always come off those. It's just a glancing blow with the end of his left boot just to get the angle on it to flick it past the keeper. Brilliant finish.
Brilliant, but when he ran off, I was thinking, has he touched it, or is that one where it's just flicked off a defender and you're thinking, well, I'm going to run anyway and claim it? We weren't too sure, but when you saw that again on the replay, superb.
Right, let's see how Leeds respond to that. Unai Emery taking action at half-time. I mean, the goal has come down the right flank, but Marlon obviously came on as one of the two substitutes. There's Tanaka's ball into Longstaff. How will Leeds respond to this? Played well in the first half. Aronson's ball to Bogle. Bogle midway inside the Villa half, finds Longstaff. Tanaka again on the right. Aronson's low cross back to Longstaff, miscues the shot, hacked away by Tielemans, gets lucky there. Sclaffed clearance, runs to the path of Rodgers. Rodgers low curling pass finds Watkins. Watkins is going to take on Rodon, trying to beat him for pace on the outside. Chops back onto the right foot, gets that cross in. Strauch is there, heads it away, might run to Camara. Longstaff slides in to make the block. Camara looked like he might have been tugging the shirt of Strauch there. Leeds have got it out of their penalty area. Aronson plays it back to Bogle. Bogle clears up to the halfway line. Metcher gives chase. Torres is there first. And the second half has started at 100 miles an hour. It's 1-1.
Yeah, suddenly Aston Villa have got some pace up front. Morgan Rodgers picking up the ball, and then he's got two runners beyond him, which is Marlon and Ollie Watkins. Now Leeds have got a different proposition.
Leeds rocked on their heels, but here they come forward now. Aronson dribbling, still going and weaving, edge of the box, left-footed shot, really well blocked by Konza. Bravely threw himself in the way of that and celebrates, roars at Pau Torres in celebration at the block. Villa have lost it inside their own half. Ampadu gets it to Okafor. Little step over from the Swiss international, making space on the edge of the box. Rolls it to Longstaff, who slices it high and wide off target and behind for the goal kick. Leeds 1, Villa 1.
Yeah, I think he would have given a free kick here anyway for Okafor, just overrunning the ball and leaving a little bit on Yuri Tielemans. But what a response it's been from Leeds after being pegged back to 1-1.
Scotland, Tonga at Murrayfield. There's been another try, Andy Burke.
Scotland 20, Tonga 0. Duhan van der Merwe with the fourth try, and that came after Scotland failed to trouble the scoreboard for 37 minutes against the side ranked 19 in the world. But van der Merwe has gone over for his 35th international try. Will that open the floodgates? Scotland 28, Tonga 0.
28-0 to Scotland. Commentary continues on Sports Extra. England looking to make it a clean sweep in the autumn. Kick-off at 4:10 at Twickenham. Commentary also on Sports Extra of England, Argentina. This is 5 Live. You can also listen to us on the BBC Sounds app. That is where you'll find all the podcasts too. And it's currently Leeds 1, Villa 1 at Ellen Road. And Villa playing with a little bit more of a swagger about them in the second half. Maatsen was trying to get away down the left. Watkins couldn't hold on to it and turn it around the corner to find him. Aronson for Leeds. There's a foul there, is there, on Bogle, as Watkins tries to smuggle the ball away down the left. Yes, free kick for Leeds. They take that quickly.
It's interesting now that they've got Morgan Rogers playing a little bit of a deeper role alongside Tielemans and Camara, and that now is outnumbering Leeds in that midfield, because we know Ampadu likes to sit deep within that back line. Now it's posing a question to Ampadu: do you step in, or do you leave yourself in a 2v2 at the back with Watkins and Marlon to deal with, allow Struijk and Rodon to deal with that situation? So yeah, we've got some tactical changes now.
Unai Emery has made the difference at half-time. John McGinn getting roundly booed by the Villa fans. Metcher's down inside the penalty area. Was he tugged down as he tried to turn and shoot? It was almost reminiscent of that goal Callum Wilson scored, second one for West Ham against Bournemouth yesterday, trying to turn the defender and get a shot away at the same time. Looked like his arm might have been tugged. They will have had a look at Stockley Park. Play continues. Goodmanson sees a gap, tries to run past McGinn. That's another foul from McGinn, and he's going to get booked. And Ellen Road loved that. John McGinn is playing dumb here. Does he know he's getting booked? Yeah, he knows he's getting booked. Accepts the yellow card, and that gets another big roar from the Leeds fans. You cannot keep him out of the action. He'll be playing in the World Cup for Scotland next summer, and he will be as vitally important to them as he is to this Aston Villa team. Leeds 1, Villa 1. Team news won't be too far away for Arsenal Spurs.
I've just seen the replay of Matcha there with Pau Torres. There's nothing in it at all. Pau Torres just brushes him to the side, simply too strong. Matcha was almost looking for it, like he knew the ball had ran away from him.
Right, free kick then for Leeds. Now, their goal came from a free kick which was initially delivered by the right boot of Sean Longstaff in the first half. This one's in a different position. It's in the inside left channel, about 25 yards out. Villa have got Donyell Marlon standing there as the one-man wall. Leeds players, 5 of them, about to start the runs, in an offside position at the moment towards that far post. There's the delivery from Longstaff, headed away by Rogers, dropping on the edge of the box. Aronson decides not to volley it, and suddenly Villa come bursting away on the break. Maatsen's got pace, Ampadu sticks with him, and Ampadu does really well, watches the ball and just takes it off Maatsen's toe, and Leeds turn and build an attack of their own. Look at Bogle steaming away down the right-hand side. Aronson on the ball. Can he find him? No. Walks into the tackle of Maatsen. Frustration from the Leeds fans. Longstaff in, with a great tackle in midfield. Okafor plays it to Metcher. The pass is just behind him. Metcher, a little bit of dribbling inside that Villa box. Villa get it away. Here's McGinn. McGinn, clever turn, loses Longstaff. Tanaka in on McGinn. McGinn was down, picks himself up, plays the pass, finds Rogers. Here's Watkins. Leeds in trouble here. Watkins shoots. Perry makes the save and could only parry it away, and Rogers very nearly followed up with the rebound, and that was all a bit messy from the Leeds goalkeeper, but it does remain 1-1. It's gone out for a Villa throw, attacking position on the right.
Yeah, superb counter-attacking play, brilliant from John McGinn in the centre of the field. Tanaka's going to have to be careful. He was booked in the first half, tried to side down John McGinn, but then Ollie Watkins in a 1v1 situation. It's a little bit sloppy from the goalkeeper Perry as he parries it in front of his defender, but Struijk didn't give him any favours. He passed the ball back to him as he was just getting back to his feet.
Which meant it had to be a scramble clearance with the right foot to get it away. So Tanaka, as Stephen says, on the yellow card, is going to have to be a little bit careful from now. Was that handball by Camara? No, the referee says that was off the shoulder. Stephen just taps his shoulder to my right to show he agrees. Leeds 1, Villa 1. Next break in play, we'll take you to Pittodrie for an update on Aberdeen Hearts. Goodmanson makes a tackle for Leeds, important one in the left-back position. His clearance hits Rogers. Ball goes up in the air. Rogers' right-footed touch brings it down, and he's won Aston Villa a corner. Kenny Crawford's watching Aberdeen Hearts.
It's been frenetic, but no goals yet. 17 minutes gone. Aberdeen 0, Hearts 0. Dylan Loban had a good chance for Aberdeen, which was saved early on, and then Harry Milne, former Aberdeen youth player, just hit the bar for Hearts. Aberdeen 0, Hearts 0.
Hearts starting the day 4 points clear of Celtic at the top of the table. A loose, crisp packet goes blowing its way across the Leeds half away to our right. Aston Villa attacking that goal in front of the Norman Hunter stand. On the front foot at the moment, they've got the corner. They found the equaliser. McGinn's delivery headed away at the near post by Okafor. Only as far as Cash. Cash goes dancing round Okafor. Cut back, edge of the box. Maatsen shoots. Blocked by Tanaka. Inside that penalty area, clearance goes straight up in the air. Watkins with a clever little back header, and Longstaff comes scrambling across, slides in and clears it away for Leeds. A real energy and urgency about this game from both teams. 1-1, throw in then for Aston Villa in an attacking position. Maatsen is just waiting here. Rodgers comes running towards him, looks like the only option. Tielemans points at Rodgers and says throw it to him. He does. Rodgers in the bright orange boots on the left. Low pass to Camera, quickly to Cash. Wide it goes to the right to McGinn. McGinn's got a little one-on-one here on the right-hand side. Plays it back to Cash. Cash decides not to cross. McGinn again with his left foot. Gets a ball into the Leeds box. Volley behind for another Villa corner. Latest from Murrayfield, Andy Burke.
Scotland 42, Tonga 0. Ewan Ashman going over at the back of a rolling line-out maul, and George Horne has just broken free for Scotland's 6th try. The gaps are starting to open up in the Tongan defence, and the scoreboard looking a little healthier from a Scottish perspective. Scotland 42, Tonga 0.
Win that Gregor Townsend needed today. Scotland comfortably ahead. Commentary on Sports Extra. McGinn with this corner from the right. And it's saved by Perry. The header came in from the near post.
It was Okafor.
I thought it was Okafor as well. I thought it was a Leeds player headed it straight at his goal. Okafor now is sprinting like an Olympic athlete down the left-hand side because Leeds have quickly got themselves on the break. Aronson, he's lost the ball. Had options to pass to, held on to it for too long. Marlon's taken it away from him. Suddenly Villa on the counter. Watkins has the ball in the inside left channel. Rodon backs off. Just holds Watkins there, tries to keep him away from goal. Watkins still dribbling, surrounded by white shirts. Plays it back to Tielemans. Tielemans works it to Rodgers. Rodgers low cross. That's blocked inside the Leeds area. Falls to Bogle. Bogle's left-footed ball is asking Mecha to run, and Mecha's definitely got more pace there than Torres. He's beaten him to it. He's wide on the right. He's looking for support. Bogle is there. Bogle comes to his left to Tanaka. Okafor's asking for it just beneath our commentary position here on the left. Chests it down. Tries to flick it past Cash. Gets it onto his right foot. Cash at the second attempt makes the tackle. Beats Tanaka. He doesn't really have an option ahead of him. And Unai Emery is telling him to hold on to the ball, and Cash has now lost it inside his own half in the right back position. Play continues. Here's Okafor. Takes on McGinn. Rolls it back to Longstaff. Tanaka says, no, that's mine. Tanaka's pass skidding across the wet turf to Aronson. Back to Bogle. Gets the big shout of man on from thousands of Leeds fans. Rodon's involved now. Every single outfield player pushing forward for Leeds here. Tanaka in a central position, 30 yards out to Longstaff. Longstaff to Aronson, cross deflected. It goes high in the air, and that's gone behind for a goal kick, according to the assistant referee, and the referee agrees, or possibly
Offside.
an offside. Right, Aston Villa free kick. Leeds 1, Villa 1. Team news is in at the Emirates Stadium. Here's John Murray.
Yes, Arsenal's first match without Gabriel for at least a month. It is the Ecuadorian Piero Hincapié who will step up, his first Premier League start, and that is Arsenal's only change from their last Premier League starting lineup, although Noni Madueke is back as a substitute, but no return yet for Odegaard. Gyökeres still out. Tottenham make 5 changes from their last league team. The captain Romero is fit. Coming in are Danso, Udogi, Kudus, Odobert and Bentancur, with the 5 dropping out, all on the bench. Porro, Kolomwani, Simons, Johnson and Sarr, and Bergvall and Gray are also Tottenham substitutes.
Thank you, John. John Murray with the commentary at 4:30 from the Emirates Stadium, the North London derby. Clinton Morrison, your summariser for that one. Arsenal against Spurs.
Sounds like he's going with a back 5 there, doesn't it? Thomas Frank, he likes that system away from home. You might feel like that'll be the best setup against Arsenal's forward players, outnumber them.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they get on without Gabriel. Hincapié in that Arsenal team. 6:06 tonight is the place for your thoughts, so that'll follow that Arsenal Spurs commentary from 6:30 until 8 o'clock. Tielemans ball out to the right. Finds Maatsen, back to Tielemans, quickly across to Konza in the centre circle. Half an hour of an intense game still to be played. Good tackle by Ampadu, took Konza down, took the ball, Konza went tumbling. Chip pass from deep by Okafor, looking for Mecha again. Mecha speeds in front of Torres. Torres gamely tries to hold on. Ball now with Gudmundsson on the left. Torres is still scrambling for position here for Aston Villa. Tanaka's 1-2 with Longstaff. Back it comes to the left to Okafor. Okafor up against Cash. Might have shown too much of that to Cash. Cash is able to nick the ball off him. Outside of his right boot. Flicks it forward to Camara. Camara's pass into midfield. Finds Watkins. Watkins to Marlon. Marlon's ball to Rodgers. Neat from Villa. Rodgers slides it through the gap to Marlon. Marlon tries to knock it past the defender to Rodgers down the right. Didn't quite get it through. Leeds get enough bodies in the way to win it back. Here's Tanaka. Tanaka turns wide on the left, has the beating of Rodgers as well. Dancing feet from the Japanese international. Leeds fans love that. Leeds have the ball.
I tell you what, he likes to scrap, doesn't he, Tanaka? He gets his foot in. Good player on the ball as well. I've watched him a couple of times. I've been impressed, and you can see why.
Tenacious Tanaka, player of the year for Leeds in the Championship last season. And on today early in this game, because Anton Stack, in creating the Leeds goal, took a whack to the head and was complaining of blurred vision. So Tanaka's in central midfield. Here he is on the ball in the bright white of Leeds. Low pass out to the right to Longstaff. Longstaff finds Bogle. Longstaff continues his run, but Bogle crosses. Maatsen heads it away. Side-footed down here to Tielemans. Tielemans driving run, and that is a cynical trip from Ethan Ampadu. Tielemans is down hurt. He caught him on the ankle. All Ampadu is doing there is trying to stop the attack, and Rodgers doesn't like the tackle.
Furious.
He doesn't like the tackle because he thinks that can hurt a fellow professional.
That's exactly what it is. I mean, it's a cowardly challenge. I know at times you have to bring people down, but you can pull him down. You can stop him in another way. Just kicking out at him, it's lazy, it's cheap. He stomps right down the inside of his ankle. It's horrible. It really is. And he's got every right, Morgan Rodgers, to be angry at that.
Yeah, and Tielemans obviously is just back from injury, just been working his way back into the team. Morgan Rodgers very much sticking up for his teammate there. Ampadu's been booked. Tielemans is getting his left boot back on his foot. 18 minutes gone in the second half. Leeds 1, Villa 1. If you are just tuning in, Leeds scored early in the first half. Slightly scruffy goal. Came from a set piece. It was very nearly ruled out for offside. That was a tight one. Gudmundsson did really well actually to keep the ball alive from the free kick into the far post. Lofted it high in the air on the half volley. Martinez made a mess of it, and then Konza's clearance from the goal line hit Mecha, and it went back past Konza and into the back of the net. Villa have won a throw on the left here. Players back underway. Villa equalising superbly. Double change made by Unai Emery at half-time. Doniel Marlon, one of those to come on. Fizzed a low cross into the near post. And just the most delicate touch from Morgan Rodgers to flick it past the goalkeeper Perry into the far corner. Highlights on Match of the Day tonight, BBC One at 10:40. Joe Hart, one of the pundits on the show tonight. I see he's also on the Monday Night Club tomorrow night with Mark Chapman and the team. There's also a 5 Live cricket show at 9 o'clock tomorrow night, which I imagine will be throwing it forward to the second test. Villa have lost it here. Torres on the turn inside his own half, in on Mecha. Mecha's down hurt, and the free kick has actually gone to Villa. So the initial challenge on Mecha wasn't a foul. Torres recovered it. He was then fouled, and referee Robert Jones has given the free kick to Aston Villa. But Villa very nearly played themselves into more trouble, Stephen.
Yeah, I mean, Pal Torres gets it wrong. I thought when it went in for the challenge on Mecha, I thought Mecha's gone down far too easily. I think he was too dramatic in what he'd done. I think it just ran away from him. But Pal Torres taking a gamble there, getting away with it.
Leeds 1, Villa 1. Just over 25 minutes to play, and full commentary of Arsenal Spurs is on the way. Konza. Cross to Torres. Tielemans in space in the centre circle. Forward to Rodgers. Rodgers outside of his right foot. Strout read it and intercepts it. Longstaff under pressure, does well. Finds Ampadu. Ampadu plays it to Aronson on the right. Outside him is Bogle. Bogle down the line towards Mecha. Lets it run through his legs. Konza's not falling for that. Stops him in his tracks. Flicks it sideways to Tielemans, who crosses the halfway line. Doesn't see anything on ahead of him, so passes to his right. Just keeping an eye on the benches down there. Looks like Villa are getting ready to make at least one more change. Jadon Sancho.
I think it's a double.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a double, but Leeds at the moment not changing anything. Longstaff caught this time. Is there going to be a yellow card for that challenge? No, just a word with Yuri Tielemans. Tielemans on Longstaff, but no yellow card. And it's one of the things we were talking about before the game. One of the things that the Leeds fans, I think, would say, is that a fan who's... Yeah, there's a fan who's unfortunately got himself out of the stands, managed to get himself into the technical area and was coming over to have a word with Daniel Farker, and luckily the security staff are onto that quickly and managed to stop him getting anywhere near, so I don't think he'll be coming back to Ellen Road anytime soon. Flag stays down. Here's Aronson onto it for Leeds, into that Aston Villa penalty area, and the flag eventually goes up. It's going to be a free kick for Aston Villa. But what I was going to say, Stephen, there, just looking down at the bench, one of the things the Leeds fans I think would say is that sometimes Daniel Farker can be a little reactive. Now there's a big rule now because Dan James and Willie Gnonto have been called back to the bench, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin possibly as well.
Yeah, I think that was a cheer for obviously Dan James. I think the Leeds fans get really frustrated with Brendan Aronson. They found him a difficult player to watch, I think, because of the loan situation, leaving the club. It was always an uphill battle coming back here. One thing you know is he'll give 110% every single time, but they don't let him get away with too much, the Leeds fans.
So coming on for Aston Villa shortly, Jadon Sancho and Ross Barkley. It's Leeds 1, Villa 1. Here's Tielemans on the ball. Incisive pass forward to Marlon. Marlon has support on his right from McGinn. Left-footed curler from McGinn, just over the crossbar. It's like that shot he hit late in the game for Scotland against Denmark on Tuesday night, which very nearly found the top corner. Know exactly what he's going to try and do with that, and he very nearly pulled it off. So Ollie Watkins is coming off, and John McGinn actually is coming off. And it's been a busy old week of football for John McGinn, but he immediately comes trotting back, gives the captain's armband to Ezri Konsa, and on comes Ross Barkley in central midfield. So the Leeds changes, I think, will follow soon. Leeds 1, Villa 1. I mean, a point, Stephen, wouldn't be terrible for Leeds.
No, it wouldn't.
Would it?
No, it wouldn't. I think, again, you go back to the first half when I said they need to capitalise, they need to score that second goal. There was an opportunity where Leeds Aston Villa weren't quite at the best, and you got to make the most of those situations.
Longstaff is trying to run away from Tielemans here inside his own half. He passes it out to Bogle on the right-hand side.
Isn't it interesting just to see how Villa have set up now? Ross Barkley is now playing as the 10 alongside Daniel Marlon, and Rodgers is the deeper player alongside Camara.
Ball back with Martinez. Villa goalkeeper closed down by Metcher. Passes it away in time to Konsa, forward to Camara. Camara brings it up towards the halfway line, manages to get his ball through to Marlon. Both Stephen and I just glancing right to see if the offside flag was going to go up. Marlon on the dribble. Barkley is there, passes back to Tielemans. Tielemans to Sancho, wide on the left. So Jadon Sancho and Harvey Elliott, both on loan at Aston Villa this season. Elliott not involved at the moment for Villa, but Jadon Sancho, who was on loan at Chelsea last season, is now out there wide on the left. Tielemans, straight ball to Barkley. Barkley's first time layoff finds Torres. Villa knocking it around nicely here. Leeds trying to hold them at bay. Sancho down the left to Maatsen. Maatsen speeding into that penalty area. Stopped in his tracks, but Barkley's there. The ball is eventually back with Rodgers just inside the box. Lays it off for Tielemans, who hits the shot, and Rodon steps out and makes the block for Leeds. But Leeds having to deal with a fair bit of Aston Villa at the pressure at the moment, and Villa, of course, here looking for 6 wins in 7 Premier League games, trying to get themselves in the top 4 with a win. Here's Sancho on the left to Tielemans, to Maatsen, back to Sancho. Sancho, little give and go. Maatsen decides to hold on to it though, plays back to Tielemans. Tielemans crossing to the box. Marlon chests it down. Ball bounces, then he turns left-footed shot. Dragged just wide of the left-hand post and behind for the goal kick to Leeds. Stephen Warnock.
Yeah, lovely patient play by Aston Villa. The little dink ball in from Yuri Tielemans into Daniel Marlon, and he chests it up, and it's almost like he wants to overhead kick it. The defender drops off him, it gives him half a yard, spins, and then doesn't quite get the contact that he wants into that bottom corner, but really positive play.
Right, Tanaka is coming off, and that might be, Stephen, do you think, to do with the fact that he's on that yellow card and has made a couple of challenges?
Yeah, and he's covered some ground as well.
Yeah. So Tanaka off, the substitute being substituted, but that is totally understandable. And Metcher off. So Calvert-Lewin on for Metcher, and Daniel James on for Tanaka, and Daniel Farker explaining that decision, I think, because he was deep in conversation with Tanaka for 30 seconds or so there.
Yeah, I just think he realises the game's getting a little bit stretched, and he knows that Tanaka might have to make a foul that he doesn't really want to make, but sometimes you're forced, and then if they went down to 10 men, then you'd fancy Aston Villa to dominate the game.
Well, you heard the roar for Daniel James. Leeds fans have been desperate to see him getting a little bit more football. 3 Premier League starts so far this season. Bit of that related to fitness issues, but got an hour or so in both of Wales's recent internationals. Sprinting here towards Emi Martinez is the Welsh winger. Konza clears, closed down by Calvert-Lewin. Longstaff heads it forward, nearly found James. Camara saw the danger, steps in, intercepts and gets away from a couple of challenges and wins Aston Villa a throw. Unai Emery applauds. 25 goals in the Championship over the last 2 seasons for Dan James. Funnily enough, his last Premier League goal for Leeds came against Aston Villa, and that was back in February 2022. Calvert-Lewin, 25 yards out, weak shot, is blocked. Aronson gets there for Leeds. He's got his back to the Villa goal, but he's done really well to hold on to that ball and keep this alive for Leeds. Longstaff plays to Goodmanson, to Okafor. He tried to force that through to Goodmanson. Maybe went a bit early with the pass. He has won the throw, and now Okafor turns to the Don Revie stand away to our left and urges more support from these Leeds fans. Leeds 1, Villa 1. Full-time score at Murrayfield. Big win for Scotland in the rugby. Scotland 56, Tonga 0. And in just over half an hour's time on Sports Extra, full commentary of England, Argentina from Twickenham, which should be a cracker of a game, actually. Ampadu is getting all the moisture off the ball with the long sleeves of his white Leeds shirt. A long throw in towards the near post, drifting on the breeze there. Morgan Rogers should have a chance to clear. No. Ampadu makes the tackle. Got support behind him. Was he fouled there? No. Referee says get up. Rogers, right back position. Slightly risky pass out with his left foot to Barkley. Back to Tielemans. Forward to Barkley. Wide it goes to Maatsen. And you can see the claret and blue shirts pouring forward, sensing an opportunity to get forward and potentially win this game. About 17 minutes to play. Tielemans' longer ball, looking for the run there of Rogers. Goodmanson slips in trying to clear it. Barkley makes the challenge, caught on the edge of the box, and the referee says yellow card and free kick here to Leeds on the edge of the penalty area, and Strauch, I guess, is just lucky that wasn't a foot or two further forward. Otherwise, had that been in the box, obviously straight penalty. Yeah, I just wonder whether he would have made that challenge had it been on the edge of, in the penalty area. I think it's a challenge that he has to make, because Goodmanson makes a mess of the first one. He gets it wrong, ball slips under his foot, Barkley's on it in a flash, and then Strauch takes him down. But this is a really good position now, 19 yards out. It's an opportunity with the quality that Aston Villa have got to cause a problem for Perry and the Leeds goal. Yeah, this is where you can really feel the tension inside the stadium. Leeds sitting in the bottom 3, took the lead in this game today, currently 1-1 against Villa, who, by the way, since Unai Emery took over, unbeaten in 17 games against promoted sides. The newly promoted sides, 13 wins and 4 draws. 1-1 at the moment. Lots of options here as well, Stephen. Well, I was just about to say, how many options do you want? There's about 7 players stood around the ball. Too many cooks and all that. Absolutely. Rogers, hands on hips. Now, Buendia is not on the field. He had a go in the first half. The tricky one here always, Stephen, is where's the gap? Where's the best chance of scoring here? Because the up and down over the wall is really tricky from right on the edge of the box. Yeah, well, I think if you're a right footer, you're trying to bend it round the wall, because the goalkeeper's on the opposite side, and that's where the gap is. It's obviously if you can send it wide enough. Emi Martinez is up on the halfway line, the Villa keeper, and he's looking at the angles to see whether he can give. And it's funny, from our angle here, so Martinez is looking at the same thing. It looks like he can whip that round the left-hand side of the wall into the bottom corner. He's putting 3 players in position. Here he comes, goes over the top and in! He's floated it over the wall. And Lucas Perry stands stock still, and the ball flies past him. Morgan Rogers gets his 2nd goal of the afternoon, and Leeds could be heading for another Premier League defeat. Leeds 1, Villa 2, delicious free kick. Oh, it is a lovely free kick from Morgan Rogers, but I think we need to look at the wall. I think we need to look at the goalkeeper and see that again, because that, to me, looks far too straight and far too central into the goal for Morgan Rogers to get it up and over that wall without the goalkeeper even making a dive towards the ball. So
I'm just waiting for the replay on our monitor. Perry with a shake of the head, and rightly so. There was boos ringing out round Ellen Road. They're not happy at all. But are the Leeds wall meant to jump? Does it go through the middle? Well, it's Ampadu, it goes over. He doesn't really jump too high. So it's a...
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's Joe Rodon.
Rodon.
He doesn't jump, does he? The rest of the wall jump, but he doesn't. He stands a little bit lower, jumps a little bit lower. Had he jumped, I think it hits him in the head.
That's really interesting to watch. Match the day tonight, 10:40 BBC One, 4-man wall. 3 of them really get off the ground, and Rodon just gets off the ground. And Rodgers, whether by luck or judgment or a little bit of both, has passed it just over Rodon's head, and that is why Perry is left there standing still. And Aston Villa have a 2-1 lead. Aberdeen, Hearts latest in the Scottish Premiership in just a second, but Dan James bursting behind the Villa defence, hits the shot and finds the back of the net. Villa look for an offside flag. It hasn't gone up, and the referee is just saying wait here. He is saying to the Villa players wait, but how about that? Dan James, the player the Leeds fans wanted on this field, using his pace to get away and in behind. He's finished from the angle, and now it's a nervous wait for those Leeds fans to see if the goal's going to count.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting. Dan James's response to the goal hasn't really celebrated it. It's almost like he knew he was in an offside position or could be very close to being offside. But Pau Torres straight away, Emi Martinez, they put the hands up. They were adamant it was in an offside position. Assistant referee on the far side didn't raise his flag, but Rob Jones straight across to have a conversation with the assistant referee. Is he off? Is he not off? Well, it's very close, and it is Pau Torres in the middle of the pitch who stands still as Dan James gets in behind. This is going to be very close, but it was a lovely finish from Dan James.
Good finish from Dan James. It'll be a first goal of the season for him if it's going to stand.
It's a handball. It's a handball by Dominic Calvert-Lewin at the back post.
Oh, wow.
So as the ball comes across, Matty Cash is claiming that it hits Dominic Calvert-Lewin on the hand, and then it goes in. So it's not for offside, it's for handball that the Aston Villa fans are claiming.
Well, it does. That hits his hand. That cannot stand. Whether it's not deliberate, he's following in just in case there's a deflection. That cannot stand. That will not stand.
No, and the Leeds fans will be thinking, well, it was for offside, but it's not. It's for the handball.
Yeah.
It's just gone up on the right-hand side on the big screen that it's checking a potential handball.
And Stephen, that shot doesn't go in unless it hits his hand, because Martinez gets a touch on the James shot, which is deflecting it away from goal. Look at Martinez leaning in. He's listening to the conversation that Robert Jones is having with Paul Tierney. This goal is definitely going to get ruled out. Villa know it. Yep. Now the Leeds fans will boo that and jeer that, but it says on the big screen, it explains it. Possible handball. It was a definite handball, and so it remains Leeds 1, Villa 2, with 12 minutes of the game left to play. But actually, you've got to credit Martinez as well, because he saved the James shot. Had he been beaten by the James shot and it goes straight in, that's 2-2. He got a touch onto the Calvert-Lewin hand. I guess Calvert-Lewin's slightly unlucky, Stephen. He's following it. Could have hit him anywhere there. It's just hit him on the hand.
Yeah, it has, but I just don't think he can readjust his body in any other way to get any touch on it to redirect it, so it can only really come off his hand.
Gnonto on for Aronson. Joel Pirro is on as well. So Leeds chucking everything at it.
I think Matcha's come off.
Has he? Right. Metcher off, that makes sense. Pirro on. So Calvert-Lewin's out there, James is out there, Pirro's out there, Gnonto is out there as well. Yeah, Aronson and Metcher both off. So, Leeds 1, Villa 2. Plenty happened in this game. 6:06 tonight, after commentary of Arsenal Spurs. That surely will be offside against Joel Pirro. Yes, the flag goes up, and there's been a goal at Pittodrie. Kenny Crawford.
42 minutes gone, the leaders are in trouble. Aberdeen 1, Hearts 0, and it's a first goal of the season for Finland international Topi Keskinen, found on the left hand side by Jack Milne's ball out from the back, cut inside, got a nice break of the ball in the box and curled it into the bottom right hand corner. Pittodrie went wild. Aberdeen 1, Hearts 0.
Pirro on for Aronson here for Leeds. Gnonto on for Okafor. Willie Gnonto's missed the last 7 games for Leeds. 10 minutes to play.
Can't keep up, can we?
No, I know. Can't we struggle today, Stephen?
Them triple substitutions.
Struggle today. Konza under pressure inside his own half. We'll see how John Murray and Clinton Morrison get on. What is bound to be an incident-packed, exciting North London derby between Arsenal and Spurs. It's here on 5 Live, full commentary at 4:30, with all the Champions League football on the way in midweek as well. 5 Lives at Stamford Bridge on Tuesday night for Chelsea-Barcelona. We're at the Emirates Stadium on Wednesday night, I beg your pardon, for Arsenal against Bayern. And here's Goodmanson for Leeds to Gnonto. Gnonto finds Goodmanson, back to Longstaff. Longstaff to Ampadu on his right. Villa happy with where Leeds are in relation to their goal, although Cash has rushed in and made a rather ill-advised challenge on Gnonto to concede a free kick. Last 10 minutes of the game, and Leeds sitting in that bottom 3 on 11 points. Pressure on the manager Daniel Farke, which there was really right from the start of the season. Next 3 games, away at Manchester City, at home to Chelsea and at home to Liverpool. Could really do with something out of this game this afternoon. Can they find it here? Whistle blows. Longstaff takes the free kick, curled into the Villa box. Headed away, it drops inside the Villa penalty area. Leeds fans hopefully appeal for a handball against Jadon Sancho. He's managed to get the clearance away on the half volley. Leeds turn and attack again. Ampadu plays into midfield to Strauch. Strauch across to Bogle. Bogle is deep inside the Villa half. Bobbles a pass down the right to Dan James. Matson comes to close him down. James runs at him, hits the cross into him and wins Leeds the corner.
Do well, Matty James, to run away from him. Matson, very difficult.
Another change coming for Aston Villa. Bogart's coming on. Leeds have taken the corner short and they've not got the cross into the penalty area, not beaten the first defender.
I realised I've just said Matty James.
Matty James. Dan James.
He'll never run away from Ian Matson.
Oh, that's brilliant skill from Bogle. That was brilliant to beat his man Barkley. Gets the cross in. Oh, nearly found Pirro. Headed away. Gnonto's there onto the ball. Decides to take it past Rodgers on the outside. Cross to the far post. Oh, Bogle let that go. Maybe he felt he couldn't get there even if he jumped high, and Villa should be able to clear with Matson. The skill from Bogle, though, was one of those,
lovely,
I think,
wasn't it?
Barkley wasn't expecting. He ran at him, he stopped the ball dead under the studs of his right boot, and then just rolled it again and kept going. Really clever, lovely football. 7 minutes plus added time to go. Leeds desperately searching for an equaliser. Here's Longstaff. Longstaff runs into Matson. Matson's knocked over, but he won the ball. Tielemans clears. Marlon gets there first for Aston Villa. Barkley charging up to get in support. Marlon still has it, maybe going to tee himself up for the shot, hits it high and off target and behind for the goal kick. He was off balance as he hit the shot, so the Leeds defender did his job.
Oh, he did enough, but he should just pass the ball to Ross Barkley. He's done all the great work, and then Rodon's in a position where he has to back off and help his goalkeeper out and almost cover a part of the goal. Simple pass into Ross Barkley, who's then set, ready for the shot. Would have had a simplest of tap-ins.
Yeah, showed a good turn of speed as well, 31-year-old Ross Barkley to get up in support there. Tielemans off. Aston Villa fans will be delighted to see him playing that much football, starting a game and back in the fold. No Onana today, so Lamar Bogard comes on, the 21-year-old Dutchman who played a bit of first-team football last season, is seeing more action this season as well. And Villa are trying to see this game out, claim 3 points that will take them into the top 4 of the Premier League table. Arsenal currently on 26, but we've got Arsenal Spurs to come here on 5 Live. Chelsea 23, Manchester City 22. Aston Villa would be on 21. Taking you to Pittodrie shortly, but Leeds attacking down the right. They've got the ball to Dan James. James gets the cross in early. Martinez comes, catches and falls on the ball inside his penalty area, and Calvert-Lewin is suspended in mid-air with his legs clasped around the body of Ezri Konsa. Bit of ballet at Ellen Road. Right, Pittodrie, what's going on there? Kenny Crawford.
Yeah, Ali, as it stands, the Premiership leaders are staring at their first league defeat of the season, because half-time score is Aberdeen 1, Hearts 0. The visitors had clipped the crossbar, but it was Aberdeen who hit the back of the net in fine style in 39 minutes. Topi Keskinen, the Finnish winger, short of confidence this season. This will do him no end of good. Cut inside to curl it into the bottom right-hand corner. It's Aberdeen 1, Hearts 0 at half-time.
Bogle's ball into Calvert-Lewin, gets his head on it but can't keep it down, goes well over the crossbar and behind for the goal kick. Leeds have really got to summon up something special here in the last 5 minutes plus added time, because at the moment they're staring another Premier League defeat in the face. They're getting the ball to Dan James quite a bit, aren't they, Steve?
Yeah, they're trying to get the ball to James, and then if he can't beat his man, then just laying it back into Bogle to fizz that ball into the box. They're trying to get crosses because that's what Dominic Calvert-Lewin wants. One thing they haven't been able to do is get Gnonto on the ball as of yet.
Bit of strength from James, holds off Maatsen, gets it back to Bogle. Bogle on the halfway line. It's the 86th minute of the game. Leeds 1, Villa 2. Leeds having taken an early lead through Metcher's goal. Morgan Rogers, the hero so far for Villa. 2 fabulous finishes. One a little near post dainty flick. The other one a free kick just caressed over the Leeds wall. Good ball from Longstaff. Finds Goodmanson in space on the left. Low cross. Dealt with at the near post by Konza. Cash sweeps it away. Rogers forward to Barkley. Barkley here into the midfield to Bogard. Bogard can't find a teammate with the pass. Rodon fires it towards Calvert-Lewin. Struggled to control it. Bumps into Camera in midfield. Might have been a free kick that, but Villa keep on playing. Got it out to Sancho on the left. Good sliding challenge by Rodon to win it back for Leeds. Rodon gives it and then he keeps going. Charging down the right-hand side. James to Pirro. James might have been fouled there. He was. And the free kick is going to be Leeds. Probably just too far out for a shot. Inside right channel. Maybe 35 yards. 30, 35 yards or so.
Yeah, I think it's a good opportunity here now again, but it is a foul. Bogard I was waiting to see whether he did get a touch on the ball. He was adamant he was, as every single player is when they make that type of challenge, and they just get too much of the boot than the ball. But this is a position now where you've got Calvert-Lewin on, you've got Rodon on. You've got an opportunity now to stand the ball up and win that first ball and try and get a knockdown somewhere.
Just the one defeat at Ellen Road for Leeds so far this season in the league. It came against Spurs. They've had the wins against Everton and West Ham, the draws against Newcastle and Bournemouth, behind here against Villa late on. Longstaff's free kick, header from Strauch. Oh, Martinez with a great save, down to his right, got plenty on it and smuggles it behind for the corner.
Oh, he rose so well, didn't he, Strauch? Got a free header on the ball. He gets above Morgan Rogers, I think it is. Wins that header down firmly into the ground, but great save from Emi Martinez.
So, Leeds 1, Villa 2. What are we now? 88th minute of the game. Corner for Leeds, just beneath us here in front of the Don Revie stand. Sean Longstaff delivers that with his right foot. Headed away to the edge of the penalty area. Gnonto powers a header to his left. Longstaff tries to win it against Barkley. Barkley might have given it away to Strauch, to Goodmanson. Goodmanson's cross hits Cash. Ball falls to Barkley. Gets the pass to Marlon. Marlon tries to run outside Gnonto. Gnonto blocks his path. Marlon's gone down holding his face. Gnonto's going to get booked for bringing him down. And Villa will take more time out of the game. Leeds 1, Villa 2.
Yeah, shake of the head from Gnonto, but he knew exactly what he was doing. Tactical foul. Marlon had the freedom of the pitch and just knocks it round Gnonto. It was so easy to draw the foul, and it was perfect from Aston Villa's point of view just to take a little bit more time off that clock.
Bottom of that Premier League table at the moment. Wolves marooned on 2 points. Burnley 10. Leeds lose this, still on 11. West Ham 11. Nottingham Forest 12. Fulham 14. Newcastle and Everton 15. So Leeds not adrift. Very much not adrift. Konza's ball from the free kick down the right. Rogers battles for it. Rogers with good strength keeps it at the dead ball line. Nearly finds Marlon. Rodon's clearance deflects off Rogers. Goes out for a throw into Leeds in the left back position, but Leeds are fast running out of time. 90th minute of the game. Bit of added time to come. Be interesting to see what the reaction is from the Leeds fans on the full-time whistle. Certainly can't complain about the effort, and the performance has been okay. Double change at half-time by Unai Emery definitely made a difference for Villa, and Morgan Rogers has provided the class. Strauch heads a long clearance forward. Barkley shoves over Longstaff as he wins a header. Free kick for Leeds, taken quickly. Rodon to Bogle. Bogle comes running at Sancho, then just chips one for James. James is trying to get past Maatsen. Flicks the cross into the penalty area. Cleared away for now. Little layoff to the edge of the box. Goodmanson wins the tackle. It falls to Gnonto. Gnonto running across the face of the area. 6 minutes of added time just beginning. James's curling left-footed effort is miles off target. It's sliced badly and behind for the goal kick. Leeds 1, Villa 2.
Yeah, just desperate times for Leeds, and they need some quality at the moment. They're not finding any quality in the final thirds. There's a good opportunity for Dan James there to beat his defender on the outside. Chooses to come inside and then try and curl that left-footed shot. It was a poor effort from Dan James, and you heard the reaction from the fans.
3 points from the first 5 Premier League games for Aston Villa. This could be about to be a 6th win in 7 Premier League games. Not doing it by scoring hatfuls of goals. 15 it will be in 12 games so far this season. But they are going to be sitting in the top 4. Offside. Calvert-Lewin and Dan James trying to build the move for Leeds. A minute of the 6 minutes of added time has already gone by. John Murray and Clinton Morrison going to bring you commentary from 4:30 of Arsenal Spurs. It'll be followed by 6:06 tonight. Football Daily podcast will be there for you later tonight, first thing tomorrow morning. That is the Premier League review. You can hear half an hour of that at 8:30 this evening as well. There's Bogard for Villa. They've taken their free kick. They're playing a bit of keep ball inside their own half. And Emi Martinez clears with his right foot up towards the halfway line. Headed forward by Goodmanson, intercepted by Camara. Barkley lays it off to Bogard. Bogard, left-footed pass is a good one. Releases Marlon. Marlon's running at Rodon. Marlon plays it to the left to Sancho. Sancho up against Bogle and Longstaff. Goes back here to Maatsen. And Maatsen all the way back to the halfway line, and they come back to the goalkeeper again. And what I was going to say about Martinez, Stephen, is, early mistake, which I know deep down he must know that he made an error for that first goal. But as a top professional should do, he hasn't let it bother him, and actually he's made a couple of really important saves for Leeds.
Yeah, he never does let it bother him. He's one of those goalkeepers, doesn't he? He just puts it to the back of his mind, and I think the save from Strauch tells you everything. That low save, the one from Aronson in the first half that he held when he had Leeds players advancing on him. A very strong performance from a strong-minded character.
Right, 4 minutes to go for Leeds to try and find the equaliser. For Villa to try and close this out. James with speed gets round his man. Forward to Pirro. Pirro turns, left-footed curling pass. Across the Villa half to Goodmanson. Quickly out to Gnonto. Gnonto has Cash backing away. Cross looks too much on that. Martinez again leaps high to his left-hand side. Clutches the ball with both hands and falls on it inside the penalty area and exchanges a little low five with Ian Maatsen. And then Maatsen says, how about you just roll the ball out to me and I'll get going down the left. Plays forward to Sancho. Sancho to Bogard. Bogard inside his own half, under pressure from Calvert-Lewin. Plays it back here to Pau Torres. Torres to Martinez. Martinez just chips this up in the air. Not the best of clearances. The ball is loose. Camara's there. Plays it forward. Barkley slides in. Can't do much with that. Or Pirro was too slow on the turn there. He's been caught out. And now possibly a chance for Villa to kill it. Marlon's going to go it alone. Just steaming down the middle of the pitch. Ball at his feet. Strauch comes across and tackles him. Ampadu goes flying as Marlon runs into him. Leeds bring it forward with Bogle, and Bogle looks to use that pace of James down the right-hand side. James gets the ball first. Maatsen desperately trying to stick with him. Just manages to slow him down. James to Bogle, back to Pirro. Pirro thought about the shot with the left foot. Has slowed it down. Leeds have 3 minutes to play here. Pirro now shoots with his left foot. Curling shot, not much power. Blocked on the edge of the penalty area. And here's Goodmanson now with it on the left. Strauch on the overlapping run. Goodmanson makes the run. Low cross shoveled into the box. Blocked by Cash. Loose from Villa again. Longstaff slides in. Wins it for Leeds. Can they make this late pressure tell? Here's the little figure of Gnonto. Tries to skip away from Cash. Cash has caught him. Free kick Leeds. Left-hand side. Maybe 3-4 yards short of the corner of that Aston Villa penalty area. Stephen Warnock.
Yeah, it's just lazy from Aston Villa there. It was Ross Barkley who gave the ball away. He just tried to find Morgan Rogers, who just took his eye off the ball as well. Wasn't on the same wavelength, but could this be the moment for Leeds to try to pick the team up behind the goal now? 90
seconds to play. Leeds fans jam-packed into the Kop away to our left. Longstaff waiting to take the free kick. Repositions the ball carefully. Just treads the turf down in front of the ball. This needs to be perfect. Heading towards the last minute of the game. Unai Emery watching on anxiously, knees bent, screaming instructions at the Villa defenders. In it comes from Longstaff, aimed at Calvert-Lewin, headed away only as far as Gnonto, lays it across to James, who hits it well, but out quickly was Camara, who's caught one in a painful area there. It seems to be in a little bit of bother on the edge of the box, but Villa keep playing. Maatsen whacks it away with his left foot, could turn into a really good ball. It's beyond Rodon, it finds Barkley. Rodon still chasing for Leeds, calling for it in the middle is Marlon, but Barkley can't get past Rodon. Rodon's there in the right back position and makes the tackle. I think it's about 30 seconds left of the game here. Leeds 1, Villa 2. Villa heading into the top 4, Leeds staying in the bottom 3. Gnonto can't decide what to do, he's dribbling, but he's going nowhere inside his own half, running across the halfway line. Now he crosses that halfway line, finds Dan James. Calvert-Lewin wants it early, cross comes in, flicked header away by Torres, falls to Morgan Rogers, couple of touches from him, calm under pressure there, holds on to it, tumbles over, the challenge by Longstaff, and Aston Villa win the free kick, and Morgan Rogers has done a fabulous job all round for his team this afternoon.
The way he just brought that ball down under pressure, he looked like he was going to dink it over a player's head, so he then dropped off and then he just dinks it about half a foot off the floor, continues to invite challenges. The reason he's been so influential in this second half is because of the changes that have been made. Daniel Marlon's made a massive difference to him being able to get on the ball and have an effect on the game.
Unai Emery still trying to control every moment of the game, and his team have won it. The full-time whistle blows and there are some boos that ring around Ellen Road. A 7th defeat of the season for Leeds in 12 Premier League games. Aston Villa move into the top 4. They went behind early in the game, but Unai Emery made a difference at half-time, made a double change. They got their equaliser immediately, and 2 very, very different finishes from Morgan Rogers, but you can see exactly why he is such a key man for Thomas Tuchel. He's a brilliant footballer, and Aston Villa are in fantastic form here, on a great run.
Yeah, they are. They weren't great in the first half. Leeds should have capitalised, they should have done better. They should have put the game to bed in that first half, or at least got themselves a couple of goals ahead. But from Aston Villa's point of view, that's what good teams do. They know that they can stay in a game up until half-time, then they've got the ability to change it tactically, the personnel to do it. Brilliant from Unai Emery in the second half, but Daniel Farke will feel like that. It's a big opportunity miss for Leeds.
Yeah, we talked about the manner of the performance. That was decent from Leeds this afternoon, but they've been undone by a couple of brilliant goals from Morgan Rogers. So Aston Villa into the top 4, and Daniel Farke and Leeds sitting in the bottom 3, now face in their next 3 Premier League games. Manchester City away next Saturday. It's a 3 o'clock commentary on 5 Live. Chelsea come here, and then Liverpool come here. Struggling to get the points on the board at the moment, but the performance was decent. Villa take the win all over at Ellen Road. It's finished Leeds 1, Villa 2.